Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. We've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it.
Welcome to Undisputed. We're live from LA. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe. Good morning.
Skip,
What's up?
Where is it?
Where? What?
What time is the parade?
For what?
You're the parade master.
No.
Downtown LA?
Skip, I need
You're in the lead car?
Skip, I need to apologize to you this morning. I was a little dehydrated, and I posted something on IG, so I apologize.
I don't know what he's talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm sure we'll find out later. Sure, the fans will keep us in the loop. On that note,
all I care about is he finally did it. He hit a free throw that stood up as the, dare I say, the game-winning free throw. LeBron James and game-winning free throw in the same sentence for the first time in history.
What about the one in Game 7?
Which one? I don't remember any game winner.
The Game 7.
Oh.
That made it a 4-point ball game?
Really?
Yeah, you remember that one.
4-point. I just remember Kyrie hitting a shot of shots. Is that the one you're talking about?
So if he misses the shot, do they lose that game?
Kyrie hit the shot that won the game.
Jenny, let's go. Because I ain't finna go back and forth with Skip this day. He's trying to steal my shine after LeBron put on another good performance last night. It wasn't a virtuoso, but it was good.
okay, we're going to get to LeBron, but on today's show, we're also going to talk about the fact that Tom Brady, well, he is the GOAT, according to Skip, and apparently Aaron Rodgers agrees.
What?
Plus, Derrick Rose turned back the clock. We'll get to that, but
What?
let's start with the Lakers, since you guys already want to go there. They needed a win badly last night after losing 2 in a row. LeBron even came to the game dressed as Jason from Friday the 13th, but it was almost more trick than treat for LA. LeBron
Clever.
put the Lakers, I can't
Like
take
that.
credit for that, but yeah, well done, AJ. He put the Lakers up by 14 with just over 4 minutes left in the game, but the Mavs came back, tied it with under 10 seconds left. LeBron was then fouled with 2 seconds left, missed the first free throw, but sank the second to give the Lakers a 114-113 win. Let's take a listen to LeBron after the game.
I'm extremely happy we're going through it. You can talk about it, you can preach about it, you can watch film about it, but the best teacher in life is experience. And it's great that these young guys are getting this experience of playing these tight, close games, and then tonight we was on the other side of it. We lost a couple when we were, same one was the same situation against San Antonio, we lost. Same situation happened tonight, we won. So it was great to learn from it.
Okay, Shannon, were you encouraged or discouraged by the win last night?
I'm slightly discouraged because they were up 17 after 1. They were up 14 with 4 minutes left in the ball game. And the Mavericks, look, I understand the Mavericks play hard, but the Mavericks are not a very good basketball team. This is a game that LeBron should have played 30 minutes, had 25 points, and been sitting down the last 12, 14 minutes of the ball game.
I agree.
And so I'm slightly discouraged. I get it that they're still learning. This is a very young ball club with the exception of LeBron. They haven't really played, Lonzo's in his second year, Kuzma's second year, Ingram's third year. But if you look at it, Skip, and LeBron touched on it a little bit, they had an 8-point lead against San Antonio. They lost that.
They were up 6 with 55 seconds left in overtime.
And so, I'm just, in San Antonio, I believe I know they're a better team than Dallas. But you can't have a lead of 17 points and 14 points late in the ball game and end up winning by 1. And Wesley Matthews must have been hanging out with JR. Did he realize that the game was tied and there was no need to foul LeBron?
Maybe he did.
Yeah, I think he.
Maybe he did. Maybe he did it intentionally. Well, I mean, it's my turn.
Rick Carlisle, when he came to the sideline, Rick Carlisle probably punched him in the stomach. But anyway, the thing is, also what I'm seeing, Skip, is that Luke is having trouble with his substitution for the simple fact is it's so crowded. And you don't want to step on anybody's toes. It was so crystal clear how you were going to do this when Rondo and Ingram were suspended. And let Lonzo play. I mean, he takes Lonzo out with 4 minutes and then he brings him back in. Lonzo's going good. Let him play. I don't like the lineup with Rondo, Lonzo, and LeBron. I don't like that lineup, Skip. So they're going to have to do something about that. And I hate when Lance make a shot early. Because you know what was happening, Skip. When he hit that shot on the baseline, you knew it was coming. Some bull jive from Lance over the next 2 to 3 minutes was going to happen.
There was one bad pass, one bad idea.
And that's what happens. They turned the ball over far too much, Skip. They had a bunch of turnovers in the they have 6 in the second quarter. That allowed Dallas to get back in it. They had another 11 in the second half, which allowed Dallas not only to stay in the game, but to get back in the ball game. It made it a lot closer ball game than what it needed to be. But at some point in time, Luke Walton's going to have to settle on a rotation, on a substitution pattern, and he can't worry about, well, I need to make sure this guy get 20, 25 minutes. You're going to have to go and say, you know what, guys, I'm sorry. But tonight was one of those nights. These guys had it going, and they played more. But I'm slightly discouraged, Skip, because of what I saw, because I don't think the Mavericks are a very good basketball team. Yes, they play hard, but you can't be up 17. You can't be up 14 with 4 minutes to go and have to eke out a win against this ball club.
So, before I say what I need to say about what happened last night, a game that I saw that you didn't see, I do want to congratulate LeBron James because, to his credit, he choked the first free throw because he almost airballed it. It barely nicked the front of the rim. And then, to his credit, he stepped up and made the second free throw. And he made it clean. It didn't bounce around.
You was hoping he missed it.
No, I just thought, surely you can make 1 out of 2 with the game tied and you still have the safety net of overtime. Because if you miss both, God forbid, then you just go to overtime.
Yeah, kind of like if Kyrie missed that 3, they'd have gone to overtime. Oh, but never mind. Go ahead.
Okay, well, we're not talking about Kyrie. We're talking about LeBron James against the Dallas Mavericks trying to save the night after they were up late in the third quarter by 19. Really? By 19 late in the third quarter? So I do give LeBron credit for that because he's had issues. He missed the 2 against the Spurs, and he showed me some guts to step up and make the second free throw. So way to go, King, there. Now, back to Jenny's question. I think the Lakers should be hugely discouraged about last night because we always hear about moral victories in sports. That was what I call a moral loss. That was a win that felt like a loss. Again, way to go, LeBron, but really? This happened? Against this team, and this was the shock of the night to me. Late in the game, last minute, the Los Angeles Lakers had 3 possessions on which LeBron James, I don't know if you watched, but LeBron James went and stood on the offside of the floor and watched, basically with hands on hips. And I am dumbfounded watching the game thinking, what are you doing? You're the best player on the planet, according to the man across from me. It's you got to close this, King. Go demand the basketball. Are you pouting? Are you running from the pressure? Surely something is going on. And something was going on because I heard Luke Walton explain what was going on after the game. He called plays on 3 straight possessions for other people besides LeBron James. He called 2 for Brandon Ingram and 1 for Kuzma. And if we could hear Luke's explanation of that, this is a shocker. And I'm not sure LeBron's good with this, but maybe he is.
Down the stretch, there were a couple possessions where the ball wasn't in LeBron's hands and went through Ingram a couple times. Do you like that? Is that something that was called?
We called that. Part of what we're trying to do here is we know LeBron can win games, and it's important for us to win games. But we also know where we're trying to get to. We need other people that are going to step up and make plays. And Brandon had it rolling before his 5th foul.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Seriously?
Yes.
So you went and got the quote-unquote best player on the planet, and some people are saying, the man across from me, that you're going to be the 3rd seed in the West and that you have an outside shot of pulling off a big upset in the playoffs. And yet, against the Dallas Mavericks, when you're 2-5, you're experimenting with your kids to see who can close for you.
Well, that's the best time to experiment.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, do you want to be 2-6? Or what do you want to be?
They're 3-5, whatever they are now.
Okay, so on successive possessions, I'm watching Lonzo and Brandon Ingram play 2-on-2 over on the left side of the floor, and LeBron is watching. And by the way, Brandon Ingram did get to the free throw line, and not to his credit, he did just what LeBron. He missed the first free throw. That was a big one right there, but he did make the second one.
Yeah.
Then on the next possession, Brandon Ingram just flat out traveled with the basketball. His feet slipped out from under him, and he traveled, so you lost a possession there. And then the third time down, Kuzma got fouled, and he missed the first free throw that could have ended it much quicker, but did have the guts to make the second free throw. So 3 straight possessions. Luke Walton is admitting publicly he's calling plays for everybody but the king. What?
And what you're trying to do, you're trying to cause an issue or controversy.
I'm not trying to cause it. He did it. I didn't do it.
Because, Skip.
He's the closer. Is he not the best player on the team?
Just so I can hear you correctly.
You heard me.
So for all 82 games, nobody else ever took a shot down the stretch but Michael Jordan.
Who's the best player on this team?
So Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was the only one in the last minute of a ball game that took a shot.
In a closeout game, you call the play on the side.
What closeout game?
Did LeBron have the basketball in his hands? Michael always had the basketball in his hands on all the passes to the Kerrs and the Paxsons. He initiated the play.
Actually,
LeBron is watching the other people close.
If I'm not mistaken, in the Game 6 against Phoenix, Horace Grant passed the ball to John Paxson. Not Michael Jordan.
Stop it. Just stop it.
Did he?
This is the Dallas Mavericks in the eighth game of the year.
Exactly. Thank you.
What are you doing?
Thank you. Eighth game of the season.
Okay, so are we just giving up this year? That's what I said. It sounds like this is LeBron's semi-retirement year. You're trying to find out who else can close?
Yes, you were trying to find out.
Does that suggest that LeBron can't? Because I told you they lost 5 games that should have been closed.
It should have been, but it hasn't. But I love how you do this. If he plays 40 minutes, why are you playing 40 minutes in December? If he plays 35 minutes and Luke Walton is trying to find other guys that can help LeBron carry some of this workload, what are you doing? Why are you not closing, King? You have no close.
But last year I kept saying they're up 25 on Orlando in the fourth quarter, and you're still playing. You're just stat padding then.
Okay,
so you played the most minutes in the league, and then you have to tell me, he's running out of gas in the playoffs. Baloney.
He didn't run out of Skip. Stop. He played the most minutes. He averaged the most points. Had the second most.
Okay, I'm just talking about trying to slam the door. Whose turn is it to slam the door? It's not the Kings. So Luke Walton just took the basketball 3 straight trips out of LeBron's hands. How do you explain that?
You don't, because Luke Walton explained it. He explained it. He says we know what LeBron can do, but we need to find out what other guys can help LeBron carry the load.
So does that mean winning is no longer the priority this year? No, seriously. Seriously, you're experimenting like it's a preseason game.
You're experimenting because it's November 1st.
Oh, well,
what about the playoffs? Is this the playoffs?
Do these games count?
Is this the playoffs?
Do these count for
seeding? So all these other times, you and I have been on this show, and when LeBron plays 35, 40 minutes, you're talking about why does he care about a game in October? Why does he care about a game in March? Now, all of a sudden,
he was in the East. Well, now he's in the West, and they matter.
They're basketball games. And guess what? You're exactly right. They matter. And so LeBron James and Luke Walton need to see the other guys that can help carry some of this burden down the stretch.
Really?
So I have no problem with what Luke Walton did.
Carry the burden?
Yeah.
I thought LeBron would carry the burden. Wasn't that why he was signed? Isn't that why he makes $33 million?
If you don't mind me asking,
$33 million.
if you don't mind me asking, why did KD go join Golden State?
I don't care about KD. I care only about LeBron and his Lakers.
Because you're making a bogus argument.
A bogus argument? I'll let the coach tell you what he did.
Exactly. He told you what he did.
How do you explain that?
Well,
help me out here. You know LeBron.
I
Is he going to be happy with this?
Yes, he's going to be happy.
Really?
At the end of the day.
So he needs other closers. Why wouldn't he close?
Skip, stop.
Can you imagine Michael Jordan? Can you imagine Phil Jackson saying, we had to call 3 plays for 3 other players because we know what Michael can do, but we needed to find out what others could do. Baloney.
Yeah,
nobody cared what the others could do. Nobody cared.
So let me ask you a question. So did he not pass the ball to Steve Kerr in the regular season so he could have confidence in Steve Kerr in the playoffs?
No, he called the shot in the huddle.
He said, with this bullshit. What difference does it make if he called it?
He was involved in the play. LeBron was over there with his hands on his hips watching the other.
It's November 1st.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Skip, why do you practice? Why do you practice? Why does regular season game
I want you to tell me, are you surprised by that?
No, I'm not surprised.
Really?
That's the whole purpose of this, Skip.
Oh, so it's a practice year. Well, really? That's what you're telling me.
Skip,
you know how hard the West is?
You would take any chance you can to take a shot at LeBron. The man Luke Walton told you. Yes, you are. The man told you. The man told you.
I've never seen anything like this in my life. Can you imagine Kobe Bryant sitting still for this?
Well, we're not talking about Kobe, like you said. We're not talking about Kobe.
Bryant would have a little conversation with the head coach after the game was over.
Is that why Kobe ran Shaq off?
Yeah, it is actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And how did that work for him?
Share the stage.
And how did that work for him until he got Pau Gasol?
Well, was
Pau
Gasol Shaq? Was he?
I'm just saying. He didn't win. No, he wasn't Shaq. But Kobe didn't win until he got Pau. Oh, did he?
Well, I'm just saying, Kobe's going to take those shots, man. And he's going to be outraged if one play ever got called down the stretch of a tight game.
Guess what happened? Do you remember Kobe's rookie year? I think Dale Harris was the coach, and Kobe Bryant air ball in Utah. How many times? But it prepared him for the success in later.
He was 18 years old.
You keep making excuses. It's always an excuse. Well, how old is Brandon Ingram?
So now,
how old is Kyle Kuzma?
Okay, here we go. So let's go to the last play. So you brought it up. What was Wes Matthews doing?
Yes.
I know what I think he was doing. He knows that LeBron is just a disaster at the late game free throw line, and he's just saying, I'm just going to foul him. I'm going to intentionally foul him right in front of the referee. Is it possible he thought he had a foul to give? I guess it's possible, but I think he's smarter.
Look at Doncic. Look what he does. Look at J.J. Barea. Look at what he does. Was that something playing? Okay.
I think it was planned by Wes Matthews to say, I just want him to go see if he can make one free throw.
And guess what happened? That was planned by Ty Montgomery. And guess what happened? Exactly, it was planned. That wasn't planned because if it was planned, Doncic doesn't do what he does. J.J. Barea doesn't do what he did.
Okay, so what I would have done in that situation is I would have played him straight up, and if he blows by me, and by the way, I got to give LeBron credit again because he did something that I always pound the desk for him to do. He actually drove the basketball. Now, it was a tie game, but he drove it, and he blew right by Wes Matthews.
Why did he drive it? Because help did not come. Doncic stayed on his guy in the corner, and J.J. Barea was on the other side. So it was a one-on-one situation.
These
if
are
you're going to tell the
Dallas
story,
Mavericks.
See, there you go.
The Dallas. That's what you told me. They're not a very good basketball team.
Skip, and
You've been driving on them the whole game because nobody can keep LeBron James from the rim if he decides to go to the rim. But there was one man left back at the rim who might have gotten in his way. And his name is DeAndre Jordan, and he's 7 feet tall, and he blocks a lot of shots.
Yeah.
So I was hoping that I would get to see it play out because now LeBron would have to make some big decisions. He's blown by. If Wes Matthews doesn't foul him, what's LeBron going to do then? What's he going to do?
I don't know, but hold on.
I do.
You said, this is what you told me just last week. You said you wanted to see LeBron late in the ball game, go drive the ball.
I did.
And get fouled. Yeah. Okay, he drove the ball, he got fouled, made a shot, and now what?
I said that was an intentional foul, but what if he had blown by and he's attacking DeAndre Jordan? What do you think's going to happen? I'll tell you what I think's going to happen. Either LeBron's going to pull up for a free throw line jump shot or maybe an 8-foot sort of jump shot, or he's going to pass it to a wing shooter for a 3 at the buzzer. That's what he's going to do.
That's what I believe. Is the help or double team coming?
No, it's DeAndre's just standing back there.
Okay, well, he's going up. He's probably going to go up over him. We don't know because you keep.
I wish I could have seen it.
But you said you wanted to see him go to the free throw line.
I did, but I want to see him attack the basket because sometimes they'll just say, you guys play. Just let him play, and maybe LeBron could score over him. Maybe he could score over him.
So why did they let him play? Why did they let him play if he gets fouled?
Maybe DeAndre would just say, I'm just going to hack him, which is probably the case. And then what would have happened would have happened. It would have played out. He would have choked the first one and made the second one.
Okay, so he did that.
Over. He did.
You told me you wanted because I said, well, what about he hit the 3? Well, he should have drove the ball. He drove the ball, kissed it off the backboard. Nah, that's not good enough. Now you wanted to see him drive the ball, get fouled, go to the free throw line. He did everything that you asked him to do. And now you change it and said, well, Wes Matthews meant to foul him.
He did. I think he just fouled him. He did it right in front of the referee. Just hammered him.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Just slapped him on the back.
Why did J.J. Barea and Doncic act the way they acted?
I don't know. Because I think Wes just took it into his own hands because he's been around for a long time. He's a veteran, and he knows that LeBron is a disaster, as we just saw against San Antonio at the late game free throw line. Has he not been? Do you disagree with that? You want some stats?
He shoots 80%.
He
shoots 80% this year.
Okay, but not from the late game free throw line. Since last year, he's 10 for 21 on late game free throws. Actually, he's now 10 for 23.
He's 80%, which I'm winning the bet currently. Am I not?
You're right on the line, and it won't last.
So I love how so in other words, you're telling me Wes Matthews pulled a Downey, and Loudon and Downey, huh?
I don't know.
He went upon himself. The code red, Jessup. So Wes Matthews, he did it on his own. He didn't. Is this what Rick Carlisle called? He said, "I want you to foul LeBron."
No, he just wanted LeBron on the late game free throw line. And you saw the first one.
I saw the win. I saw the win.
Yeah.
Did you see the win?
I did.
Did you see the purple and gold confetti coming down after the game?
I just congratulated him.
We don't want no congratulations for you because we know it's not sincere.
I also want to congratulate Lonzo Ball for making 3 out of 3 3-point shots.
He played well.
He's now shooting 41% for the year. And how many times have I gotten ridiculed on this show for saying Lonzo Ball shot 41% at UCLA?
Right? Hold on. When you were
shooting 41%.
When you was getting ridiculed, was he shooting 41%? See, this is what you like to do. When you're wrong at the time,
I kept telling you, history will out that he will be a very good 3-point shooter in the NBA.
So history will out that LeBron James will be closing these games down the stretch.
I hope so.
No. Hold on. What do you mean you hope so?
Well, he'd had 5 chances before and failed all 5 times.
All I know is he got more game winners than Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Is that a fact?
So Lonzo Ball is 16 of 39, I wanted to add from 3.
Yeah, he's playing well.
That's a pretty big sample size, 39 attempts.
I didn't like the fact that Luke took him out the last 4 minutes of the first quarter and didn't play him the first 4 minutes of the second quarter.
Yep.
I think that's too long. Rondo didn't have it last night. Rondo was loose with the ball. He had the highest minus of anybody on the Lakers. The second unit didn't have it. They got completely outplayed by the second unit of the Dallas Mavericks. And Luke needs to understand that. I get it. You want to get guys minutes, but if guys are not fulfilling what they should be doing in the minutes that they should be getting, well, you got to go back to the other guys. It's as simple as that.
So we both agreed yesterday when we were talking about what lineup should close for the Lakers, that Lance Stevenson should be part of that closing unit.
Yes.
He played a grand total of 1 minute and 51 seconds in the fourth quarter after playing 0 minutes at Minnesota in the previous game, right?
Yes.
In the fourth quarter. 151, and it came early in the fourth, is not enough.
No.
He makes things happen on offense and defense, and yes, he'll make an occasional mistake, a blunder, he'll try too much, and we get that, but he'll make way more positives than negatives.
I totally agree. And the thing is, when you have this many guys, like if this was the playoffs, you're only going to play 7, 8 guys. But when you got 9, 10 guys that can legitimately play, and you're trying to get all these, because you're trying to keep everybody happy, Skip.
Yep.
But you can't keep everybody happy. Someone needs to be unhappy because you need to play the guys that are playing the best. And Rondo didn't have it last night. That's okay. So you move on. Hey, Lonzo, you back up. The dude's 21. He should be able to play 40 minutes.
I don't know, but Luke's pushing a whole lot of buttons. He subbed in the fourth quarter like 29 times.
Yeah,
just in and out, in and out, in and out.
And
you got to make a choice and stick with it.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm glad Luke is experimenting now because here's the thing. Oh, you think the drugs that you take, that's a one shot, one kill?
Yep.
That's years and years of R&D. Research and development for those people that's watching at home. So what Luke Walton is doing, he's researching. He's developing these young players, Skip Bayless, so when it come time in late in April, in May, and playoffs, the development will be.
Well, you got LeBron. Why do you need anybody besides LeBron?
Stop it, Skip.
Huh?
So
you got your closer.
So let me guess. Does KD close every game?
Well, he's on a very different team.
Oh, so
is there a KD on this team?
Yeah, LeBron James.
Is there a co-star?
LeBron
is there a
James.
Second star? Is there a third star?
Skip.
Is there a fourth?
Skip, the fact of the matter is that you have to find out what guys you can count on when you need them the most in the most intense moment.
I want to know if LeBron is cool with this because I don't think he is.
Well,
just me.
Stop trying to make a situation.
I think it's
not
a situation. I didn't make it. Luke made it.
No, Luke ain't make nothing.
Yeah. And by the way, Luka Doncic, I will take him over Trae Young any night. I'm sorry, but he started off 0 for 6 in that game because he admitted that this was a very special night because LeBron was his idol growing up.
Oh.
And he made his last 5 shots of the game to get them right back in.
He's
good point, Ted.
player.
Yeah, he's going to be fun to watch. All right. We're moving from one GOAT to another, according to Shannon. Does Aaron Rodgers really think Tom Brady is the real GOAT? We'll discuss that next.
No mercy.
Well, the Patriots will put their 5-game winning streak on the line Sunday night when they host the Packers. And earlier this week, Tom Brady said he gets inspired watching Aaron Rodgers play. Then yesterday, Rodgers gave even higher praise to Brady. Take a listen to this.
End of career conversations, and you look at MJ and LeBron. You know, it's tough to settle any of those debates because there's the what if game and the situation game and who you played for and what era you played in. And I'm just worried about winning right now, and he's got 5 championships, so that ends most discussions, I think.
Compliments all around. Shannon, do you believe Rodgers?
No. And you notice how he prefaced it, Jenny. He says it ends most.
Most.
He didn't say all. He could have been saying that would end all debate. That would shut down.
He was actually just referring to you.
No, Skip, it's not your turn to talk. Why are you talking? Didn't your teacher tell you about interrupting? Didn't your teacher tell you about interrupting when others are talking?
No.
Yeah, you did.
She always called on me first because she wanted me to talk.
Yeah, because you're the teacher's pet. I'm glad you finally admitted that. There's no question that Tom Brady is more accomplished, but there's no way, knowing from what I've seen of Aaron Rodgers and others that have been around him with his confidence. Skip, you said he's arrogant, that he believes Tom Brady is a better quarterback than he is. Aaron Rodgers can make throws that Tom Brady, when he's laying next to his gorgeous wife, Giselle, can't even dream of making. This dude is unbelievable with the football in his hands. His abilities, not just to throw the ball, because there are a lot of guys that can throw the ball from the pocket with accuracy. There are some guys that can throw the ball on the move, but we have yet to ever see a quarterback that possess all the tools that Aaron Rodgers has and can throw the ball as accurately as he can. And, he's a full touchdown interception ratio than Tom Brady. And Tom Brady's unbelievable. Situations matter. We talk about the dysfunctionality that's going on in Cleveland. Now, I'm not saying that's what's going on in Green Bay, but when you have stability, you have a Coach Belichick, that matters. Coach Belichick's going to the Hall of Fame, and if you look at most quarterbacks that's in the Hall of Fame, they had a Hall of Fame head coach. Mike McCarthy's not going to the Hall of Fame, Skip Bayless. Coach Belichick will probably go. He might not even have to wait 5 years. He might just go the moment he retired and say, you know what, we're changing the rules. He got to come in right now.
Yeah.
You understand that, Skip Bayless.
He went along for a great ride, but go ahead.
Skip, don't do that. Don't do that. I believe if you and Aaron says it, the eras matter, who you played for matter, the organization that you played for matter. And plus, Skip, I'm ready for this game to start. Excuse me. Because I'm tired of these heads of state. Because everybody's being so diplomatic, Jenny. Oh, my goodness. It's amazing what he's done with the economy in his country. Stop it. We know this, Skip. Quarterbacks do not take shots at other quarterbacks publicly.
That's true.
But what we found out in Deflategate through Tom Brady, some of Tom Brady's that got leaked, Peyton Manning is on his last leg. I'm going to play forever. Now, he would have never said that publicly, would he, Jenny?
Never.
But that's what he said on his text messages because it was red, Skip Bayless. So for me, I believe that Aaron Rodgers would say, yeah, Tom is more accomplished. He has 5 Super Bowls. But if y'all think Tom Brady is a better quarterback than me, you are absolutely out of all of your mind, not just part of it.
Although I do recall when Steph Curry won his first unanimous MVP, this guy named LeBron James questioned the definition of valuable. Like, what's valuable mean?
I ain't talking about, no, we're not talking about LeBron. We're talking about, I said.
Two great players.
No, I said
sniping.
I said quarterbacks. Because remember, their stat for a long time, they had what they called the quarterback club, which was exclusive. No other player. Then they started accepting like great players like Emmitt Smith and great defensive players. But for the longest time, the quarterback club was separate than everything else.
So I'm going to repeat Aaron Rodgers' line of yesterday. He's got 5 championships. I think that ends most discussions. It actually ends every discussion.
Nah, that
5 championships.
What did he say?
This is like Aaron Rodgers finally acknowledging that the earth is round. That's what we're talking about here. Yes. So I just, seriously, the harder I think about this, because we're on Rodgers versus Brady week, the more absurdly laughable this whole competition gets, because there's no competition. There is no there. Can I just step back and ask this question one more time? So the first quarterback in question, Aaron Rodgers, has one long ago Super Bowl that he played in and won, and that's it, one Super Bowl. And the other quarterback in question, Tom Brady, has played in 8 Super Bowls and won 5. Why are we doing this? I'm with you. Let's go on to the game, because This is all disqualified. There's no competition. There's no debate here. No, seriously.
No, it is not serious. It is serious. Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, so I have to point this out one more time. Since Aaron Rodgers won long ago Super Bowl, in the postseason, he's 5-6. And his postseason wins came courtesy of Joe Webb and Dez getting robbed at Lambeau and Kirk Cousins and the Giants boat trip game, and then courtesy of Mason Crossbar's 56-yard field goal and 51-yard field goal at Jerry World. That's how he won the 5, but he's lost 6, including 2 at home. You're disqualified. You're out. Just over that stretch, Tom Brady's been 13-5 and played in 4 Super Bowls.
If you don't mind,
it's over. It's like Aaron just acknowledged the obvious.
But let me ask you a question. Did you use that same argument when Tom Brady had won his last Super Bowl in 2005 and didn't win again until 2014?
I can only go off. No. I can only go off what he's been doing.
No. Did you use that same argument since Tom Brady his last long time ago?
It's not 2005. Are we in 18? I think we're in 18.
Did he win the Super Bowl last year?
He should have.
Now he should have.
Well, I mean, he threw for 505, an all-time playoff record.
What did that got to do with anything?
Wow, that's pretty good at age 40.
Well, LeBron James should have won game 1. He had 51, but that's neither here nor there, Skip.
Aaron Rodgers is 10-7 in the postseason, and 4 of those wins came on an all-time great and against all odds wild card run. Remember, they were the 6th seed. They were the last team in the playoffs in 2010.
Yeah.
And what happened? They went to Philly and upset Michael Vick, and then they went to Atlanta and just blew the doors off Matt Ryan. And then what happened at Chicago against your arch rival? Well, Jay Cutler hurt his knee, couldn't go in the second half. Caleb Haney was the quarterback in the second half. And Aaron Rodgers had a pretty woeful game. He had no touchdowns to 2 interceptions, threw for, 17 of 30. He had a QBR of 50 in that game, which is exactly in the middle. That's at Chicago. You barely survived 21-14. These are your wins.
Why don't you say that when Tom Brady beat David Garrard? Or Tom Brady beat Phillip Rivers on a torn ACL?
I don't ever hear the Legion of Boom. He came from 28 to 3 down.
What did Cliff Averill say about all those guys hurt? Cliff Averill had a concussion and was out in the first quarter. But see, you won't bring that up.
Shannon Sharpe always tells me if you walk on the football field, you're healthy.
Don't do that, Skip. Don't do that,
that's what
Skip.
You told me. No, come on.
I tell you what. If you ever mention Tom Brady had a cut thumb again.
I don't ever mention.
You do mention
I don't need to.
Because you get upset because Coach Brady wouldn't acknowledge that he had to have transplant.
Coach Belichick did, he said it wasn't exactly.
It wasn't. You made it seem like he had to have a hand transplant.
Well, he had 12 stitches in the palm of his thumb. You know how hard it is to throw a football? This is a finesse thing.
Did he just not say he was not going to bring that up? And now he's trying to
brought it up.
And now you're trying to explain what happened.
Yeah.
Skip Bayless. All I'm saying is this. The question was, Jenny asked me, does he believe this? No, I do not believe Aaron Rodgers believes Tom Brady is a better quarterback. I believe he believes deep down that Tom Brady, he knows for a fact 5 is more than 1. He's more accomplished. But Aaron Rodgers says, if I had Coach Belichick, I damn sure you wouldn't have more than me. Do you believe, if you switch roles, does Tom Brady have 5 in Green Bay? Or does Aaron Rodgers just have 1 in New England?
Tom Brady would have 5 wherever he went.
Stop it, Skip,
because he is becoming, he's convincing me he has become the greatest leader in the history of sports. He makes that whole franchise go because he is the guy who controls the locker room and lets the locker room unite under Bill Belichick and let Belichick get away with whatever he wants to do.
It's the Patriot way, not Brady's way.
Yeah, and Brady holds that locker room together. It would have mutinied against Bill Belichick a long time ago because he's my way or the highway.
Yes.
Mike McCarthy is not that way. In the end, Aaron Rodgers is not a great leader. He doesn't have the Brady intangible. He's a finger pointer and a blame deflector. He
leads in different ways.
He's a diva.
Tom Brady's not a diva.
Not like this. No. Have you ever heard one teammate say anything negative about Tom Brady? I've worked with dozens of them over many years. No one ever says anything wrong. Even James Harrison, our man James, went late in the year to New England. He said, my antenna was up. I was skeptical. And what did he tell us? It's real, man. He's the real leader of that show.
Why are you doing that?
Well, I'm just telling you the truth. So I did love what Aaron said because this was interesting. He called Brady a unicorn and an outlier. And it's because Brady doesn't fit your mold. You want the stud franchise quarterback with some arrogance and some a little bit of swagger.
We know Tom Brady's arrogant because we saw Tom versus Time.
Yeah.
So we know he's arrogant.
He mostly comes across to you as a little nerdy, a little corny, a little lame with his Facebook posts, his Instagram posts.
That's an act.
Okay. Well,
the Tom versus Time is the real. All the curses and the F-bombs and the SOBs, that's the real
You should like that.
I got no problem with it.
I mean, you should love it, actually. That's what you want in your quarterback.
I have no problem with it, Skip. But just be that.
So, and then I also love the second level thinking because when he watches tape of Brady, he's tried to emulate his pocket movement. And I've tried to explain this to you. He's got Montana had great feet too, but Brady has great pocket feet and innate sense of he doesn't watch the rush. It's hard not to watch the rush.
Oh, you know it's coming. Because did you see Monday night? When that guy got closer, how he pulled a dying goat on him, Jenny? So he know when that rush coming. He know when he get close to it. Oh, he don't see. Oh, he saw.
How's he completing 68% of his passes if he's watching the rush?
You know what?
See, Aaron's
you know what? There's a stat that Tom Brady trails only Mitchell Trubisky on misfire throws. Skip Bayless, did you know that?
I didn't see that.
Pull that stat up. Pull that one.
I'll pull up QBR if you want me to pull that up because Tom's having an average QBR year. He's 9th in the league right now. Aaron Rodgers is 21st in the league in QBR. How do you explain Aaron Rodgers is hitting only 61% of his passes?
And guess what? You know his guy, old Dak Prescott?
Oh, now we got to get it.
He was an old QBR. He was finished second. He finished third. He's fourth. Ask him where they are as far as passing. Where did Skip?
We're talking about the GOAT discussion,
which
has ended.
You know that?
It is over and it is out.
No, hold on. Aaron Rodgers.
Your man gave up.
No,
he said, I quit.
No. He said it would end most, but not this discussion. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's what he's saying.
You can look more foolish by the day if you want
ain't no
to. I don't care.
Ain't no foolish.
I can't save you from yourself.
Hold on, Skip. So why do all these execs, all these teams, why do they always say Aaron Rodgers then?
Well, because the other guy's 41,
maybe? Now you making excuses. At first it was foolish. It was out of the realm of possibility. But now it's 41.
Who's the reigning MVP of the NFL? The real 12.
Hold on.
There's only one 12, and he's in Foxborough.
Who got taken down by a backup quarterback that's on the bench right now. Nick Foles is the best player in the NFL because that's how you told me. Whomever wins the title, that's the best player.
Okay.
Oh, is that right? So Nick Foles should have been the MVP.
Unfortunately, Tom Brady can't play defense, or he would have inserted himself into the lineup to play in place of Malcolm Butler, who was in Belichick's doghouse.
Unfortunately, those guys didn't fumble the football.
How many interceptions did Tom throw in that game?
Tom Brady didn't punt the ball. They didn't punt the ball one time.
See, there are unforced errors. There are interceptions, but there are forced errors that the defense just makes a great play on. Brandon Graham made a great play.
How you make a great play on the GOAT? Michael Jordan never had the ball stolen from him. That's what you told me.
He is human, Tom Brady.
Oh, now he's human. Now he done cost the Patriots a championship. Now he's human.
Well, we are going to see two of the best Sunday, and that's what Coach McCarthy said yesterday. No mercy. Derrick Rose, he turned back the clock in a big way last night. He scored a career-high 50 points in a win over the Jazz. Rose has struggled with injuries since being the MVP back in 2011, but he played 41 minutes last night since the Wolves were without Jimmy Butler. Let's take a listen to an emotional Rose after the game.
You and your career-high 50 points. What does it mean to you, Derrick?
Everything, man. I worked my ass off, bro. I wouldn't have did this for the franchise, the organization, the fans, everybody, man. I wouldn't be able to play the way I play, man.
But you did look like Derrick Rose of old. And what did it feel like going through from beginning to end?
I'm doing anything just to win, man. I play my heart out. My teammates told me before the game, just play my game. And tonight was a hell of a night.
Those are the interviews you look forward to as a sideline reporter. All right, Shannon.
Yes.
We saw the emotion. How do you explain the performance from him last night?
It was Halloween. He dressed up as D. Rose 2011 when he was the MVP. That's why I explained it. It was a magical moment because we don't normally see NBA players setting career highs in year 11, especially after everything that he's gone through. I was glad to see him back. I mean, he spoke about wanting to winning. He said when he first got into the league, he wanted to win the MVP. Now at this juncture of his career, he wants to be sixth man of the year. Well, he's off to a roaring start. And the thing was, Skip, is that he got these 50 on 31 shots. He was back to being D. Rose. He was explosive. If you remember, Skip, I think he came out in 2008. Russ was in that draft. He was doing what we see Russ do before Russ was doing it.
That's true.
I just don't know if Russ had the bounce that he has, but this Skip, he was special. There's a reason why he's the youngest.
Wait, you mean
as far as
that Derrick doesn't have?
No.
Which way?
I don't think Russ have the bounce, the elevate up off the floor like D. Rose.
I don't know, man.
Man, no,
Boy,
Skip,
that's
Skip. If you watch some of the dunks that he had early in his career,
I know.
Before
he was the youngest MVP ever at 22.
Yeah,
so I got it.
But the knee injury and then the ankle injuries, and it was always something, Skip. It just robbed him. And he can give you flashes. Now, I don't know if this is an outlier, not 50. But, Skip, we've seen him even in Cleveland. You remember last year in Cleveland, Skip, when LeBron went to they played the Wizards in D.C., and LeBron went for that 57.
Yep.
He had like 25, 26 points.
You also came in here a lot of mornings and you were not happy
No.
with D. Rose, right?
And all the fans, they were cheering him. I wonder if they're going to still be cheering him when all of a sudden he don't show up and he's supposed to be there. And he got dreads now and he come back with a fade. Will they still be cheering him then, Skip? Because we know there's sometimes that he's a very mercurial person. He can just disappear and he'll call you from wherever he is like, I ain't going to be able to make it. Bro, we done played 3 games. What you talking about you're not going to be able to make it?
Yep.
But for one night, Skip, he was special. He offered you a glimpse of what his career could have been had it not been robbed for the injuries. I was happy to see it. He was a special kind of talent.
He was.
He had a Hall of Fame arc.
He did.
But one injury started a precipitous fall, and he never recaptured. But for one moment, for one night, he showed you what he could have been.
I agree with you. I got caught up in it. I started watching maybe in the third quarter, and I could not turn it off because it was a fairy tale night. It's just like impossible what he's doing and doing and doing. And the truth is, when I watched LeBron and company play up there the other night at Minnesota, I would see the guy with dread score, and I'd say, who's? Oh, that's Derrick Rose. Oh, I forgot about, oh, that's that guy.
Yeah.
Really? Because
he can still finish at the basket.
He can still finish, but we saw flashes with the Knicks. He had some flashes where you say, okay, I see that guy. But then last year was pretty disastrous.
Yes.
And finally, he was part of the trade that sent Jay Crowder to Utah, and then Utah just flat out just said, no, we weren't even going to take a look, right? We're out. He got cut, winds up with his old Chicago coach, Tibbs up in Minnesota. And he was pretty good down the stretch last year, just quietly pretty good. And he's been pretty good this year because he's been averaging so far through the first 7 games, he's averaging 14 points and playing 28 minutes a night.
Right.
So he and Jeff Teague were kind of like mixing and matching the point guard minutes, right?
Right.
So Jeff Teague was sick or hurt or something last night, so he couldn't go.
And Jimmy Butler
said, I'm going to take the night off because I don't want to push it too hard here. I'll be ready for Golden State, but I don't want to play tonight. Right. And all of a sudden, 2 things were operating in Derrick's favor last night. He was waived by Utah, so he had a little axe to grind, right? Okay. And I think that team had a little axe to grind with Jimmy because they kind of wanted to show, okay, if you're going to act like that, we'll show you we don't really need you, at least tonight. We don't need you.
Because Karl Anthony Towns, 28-16. When have he played like that this year? Because remember, one game he fouled out with 6 points.
He did. So do I think that Derrick can keep this up? I don't. No. But do I think he could average, let's say he's averaging 14, could he average 18 a game? Would that be decent? Would that be reasonable?
Is Jimmy coming back? Because these shots that he got last night, some of those will be Jimmy's shots.
That's 31 shots.
Right.
Yeah.
And Teague will be back.
He'll take some shots.
Right. Yeah. So that's the thing. I just don't know if the shots and the minutes are there. Skip, he can't play. He played 41 minutes. He can't play those kind of minutes.
I wonder how he feels right now.
So,
right?
Hey, he might not can play the back-to-back. He might pull a Kawhi on him, Skip.
He might.
And what makes this impressive, Utah is a really good defensive team. They got the reigning defensive player of the year in Rudy Gobert.
He was just slicing and dicing. He was even taking advantage of Rudy at the rim.
Yes, I mean,
really?
And every time, Skip, he jump stops. Because I remember that was the injury that it cost him, was the jump stop.
Yep.
And every time I'm just like, please, please.
Yep.
And because he's so violent in his movement.
He's violent.
And think about it. When he won the MVP, Skip, he might have took, 63 pointers, maybe 100 tops? He was 4-7 last night.
And he's been a not good three-point shooter.
No.
He's barely 30% for his career.
And that's the thing. When you look at his numbers, you're like, 19 of 31, 4 of 7, 8 of 11, 4 rebounds, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. Skip, he can't play it. I mean, a career night at this juncture, given what he's gone through.
It was so fairy tale. He even blocked Exum's shot to end the game because they got 3 looks at it to tie, and there's one left because they got 2 offensive rebounds, and Exum's got a shot, and he gets his fingertips on it and blocks it. What a way to end the game.
That told me this was meant to be Derrick Rose's night.
It was.
Because if it wasn't, that guy makes that 3-point shot, and maybe we talk about it a little bit because D. Rose had 50, but they lose the game. We're not talking about it in nearly as much.
Not like
But
this.
because he not only had a magical moment, he had a magical defense. We don't talk about D. Rose in defense. We've never talked about him. But he got the block shot to secure the victory after well as he played. Like I said, 41 minutes, Skip, 31 shots. That was, I'm looking out. I still don't believe it.
Yeah.
I still can't believe D. Rose got 50.
I can't either.
A 50 piece.
So as happy as we all were for Derrick at the end of the game, it did raise the issue that I've heard from a lot of NBA people over the last 5-odd years. Remember, he's taken leaves of absence, and he's had this going on, that going on, and he's not really into it. He's thinking about quitting, and he's constantly over the last 5 years been over-emotional. He'll cry at the drop of a basketball. And last night, he just breaks into tears at the end of the game, and part of me wanted him to say, business as usual. This is me. I can do this.
Not after what he's gone through, Skip.
Well,
although that knee injury and people gave him up for dead, and it's tough, Skip. I mean, you think about when you have the success that he had so early, because we had never seen anything like this. We'd never seen anybody come in and win the MVP at 22, maybe 21.
No, he was 22.
22?
For sure.
So he won the MVP, so now you're expecting. And
he just turned 30.
Let that sink in, Skip.
Yeah, I know.
2011 seems so long ago. It's 3rd year in the league.
Yeah. But he is in a perfect spot with a coach who loves him and will stand by him and with him. And I still think this team, if they could figure out the Jimmy Butler, when Jimmy decides to play, did he not play against LeBron?
Oh, yeah.
That was huge.
Oh, he's a top 5 two-way player. When you put him and Klay Thompson and Kawhi, I know you don't like to talk about number 2, but Kawhi, Kawhi. Skip, he playing at the MVP level. You saw what he did. You heard what Ben Simmons said. Say he's freakish.
Yeah, when he plays, then he takes the next night off. But that's okay.
Why you do that?
So the T-Wolves are interesting because this is a viable. Again, is it a threat to Golden State? No, but is it about as good as any other team in the West except Golden State when they play like this?
But Skip, they got 3. If you think about it, they got 3 number 1 overall picks on their roster.
Yeah,
they got Wiggins, they got Towns, they got D. Rose.
I thought they underachieved last year and wound up in the 8th spot because you liked them.
Yes.
I mean, you were thinking they were like the 6th seed.
Yeah, I thought they could get up to 4 or 5 actually.
Right.
But what Towns am I going to get on a nightly basis, Skip? Because this is what he's capable of. But then I see nights where he have 13 and 5. Come on, what am I supposed to do with that?
They've just been trouble. They've been at each other's throats.
Yeah.
Wiggins versus
Do they really
Butler.
like it? The question is, do they really like each other,
I don't
Skip?
know. Doesn't feel like that. And the coach is hard to play for except for Derrick.
Yeah.
Derrick has a good click with the
Well,
coach.
Jimmy Butler loves playing for
He
him.
does, those two, because they're Chicago guys.
And that's all they know.
Yeah.
See, these guys, they had another coach, and then he comes in and Tibbs grinds you down. So they're like, no.
Considering the drama that they have been through, the whole organization, we got to congratulate the guy. And I'm not biased or anything, but I hope they
Glenn
can
Taylor might trade him
continue
tomorrow.
this.
Jenny, I wish you could have done that interview.
No, I know,
that
me
would have
too.
been great.
Oh, that was really. Those are my favorite moments when you get them in that space.
Euphoria.
All right. Euphoria. It's special. We're moving on to Steph Curry because is he on his way to the NBA Mount Rushmore? We'll discuss that next.
I can't believe you over there talking about ooh.
No mercy.
All right, let's go back to the NBA. Steph Curry is a 2-time MVP and a 3-time champ. He's one of the only 8 players in NBA history to do that. ESPN's Brian Windhorst wrote that Curry is making a run at being on the NBA's Mount Rushmore. Hall of Famer Steve Nash echoed that. Nash said about Curry, I hate to break it to you, but he's already an all-time great. He's the ultimate one-off. He's the evolution of basketball. And evolved before our eyes. There's layers to his place in the zeitgeist. People don't associate him to greatness because he doesn't dominate the game. Physically, he dances. He pays a tax for that. He pays a tax for his great teammates. All right, Shannon. Steph headed to Mount Rushmore.
No, I don't believe he can make it to Mount Rushmore, but I do think he's changed the game. I think he's done for the three-point shot what Michael Jordan did for the dunk, Skip. When Michael Jordan came into the league, the tongue hanging out, everybody wanted to dunk. It wasn't good enough to have a mid-range game. Obviously, the three-point shot wasn't what it is now. But everybody wanted to dunk, and they wanted to dunk on someone. So what Michael did for the dunk, obviously there were guys dunking before Mike, but Mike took it to a new level. There were guys that shot the three. Ray Allen shot the three. But he didn't change it like Steph Curry has done. Also, I don't believe you can make it to Mount Rushmore when you're not the best player on your team. And you got to look at that. He's not better than Kevin Durant. He's not. I'm sorry. I wish I could give it to you in a simple, in a more. I'm not as analytical.
I mean, you've made the case he's more important, right?
But you give me a choice. Do you want a great little man or a great big man?
That's it.
And I'm gonna take the great big man.
Simple as that.
All the time. Pippen talked about, and Scottie Pippen has, said he sacrificed, since KD's gotten there. The year before KD got there, he went from taking 20 shots a game to 18, 17, and now he's back to 20. That's not a sacrifice. 1 to 2 shots a game is not a sacrifice, especially when the 1 to 2 shots that you're not taking, those other 18 are great shots. Kevin loves sacrifice. He went from 18 down to 12. That's a sacrifice. He went from getting the ball and shooting anytime he wanted to he wasn't the second option. He was the third option. And a lot of times that option was a bailout option. So, no. Do I think he's an all-time great player currently as I sit here? Absolutely. You don't win 3 championships. You don't win 2 MVPs and not be already a great all-time great player. But if you put him on Mount Rushmore, who you taking off? I mean, what you gonna do? So you're gonna take Kareem? You're gonna take whomever is up there for you.
Or we could take LeBron off.
Don't do that, Skip. See, there you go, Skip.
Well, you asked
I try my best. I try my best not to get upset. I said I'm not gonna do the gummies today.
Continue.
But you ruined it. But Skip, I think he's an all-time great player. No question in my mind. But all-time great players, because there's a reason why they went and got KD. They knew after the Cavs had beaten them in 2016, they're not beating the Cavs with Kyrie and Kevin Love again. That wasn't going to happen. So they had to go get a neutralizer. They had to go get an equalizer. And they went and called a 7-foot monster that there's no answer for. We've never seen anything like him before.
Nope.
So, no, that alone is going to keep him off Mount Rushmore.
That is correct. So, if we want to build a Mount Rushmore just based on game changing, just on evolution of basketball, I'll put him on that Mount Rushmore because I'll start with Bill Russell, defense, shot blocking. He changed the way people thought about playing defense, rim protecting. I'll put Wilt on there because he changed the game at the rim the way nobody could because he was 7 feet 1 inches tall.
A lot of the rules had to do with
Wilt. The rules all had to change, and he did score 100 points in a game, right?
Yes.
And I'll put MJ on there for the dunk.
Yes.
And I'll put Steph on there for the distance shot because nobody has ever shot it from distance the way this still young man still shoots it. He's already off to the races this year. He's the first one through 8 games to have 5+ threes, X number of times. He's already off. He's just doing things we've never seen before.
He might break his record, Skip, before 406. That's ridiculous.
It's just ridiculous. But back to your point, and back to Steve Nash's point, there is a tax on what he has chosen to do. And the tax is Mount Rushmore. You're off. You're disqualified because you chose prohibitive favorite team over Mount Rushmore, right?
Yes.
You went and recruited Kevin. He was the point man for the Kevin Durant recruitment, right?
Yes.
When they went to Long Island, remember that?
Absolutely.
And back to the Scottie Pippen quote, this is Scottie saying that Steph's willingness to sacrifice for KD is one of the great stories in basketball history. Well, it's also one of the ungreatest stories in basketball history, right?
Yeah, a two-time MVP.
Two-time, and you again, Kevin left Russ in Oklahoma City, and you had them down 3-1, and then you go join forces here. Well, that's not a great story, right?
No.
And for Steph to say, I can't do this by myself, I need help. And now, if I have to nitpick, and remember, I'm the biggest Steph fan. I campaigned before that draft for the Clippers to take him #1 overall, and they took Blake Griffin. Would that have not changed some history?
Yeah.
Okay. But how would Steph have done with a different coach in a different setting? I don't know.
Right.
But this was perfect. And then Steve Kerr came in for Mark Jackson, and it just sort of took off, right?
Correct.
So are they as prohibitive a favorite right now as we've ever seen in the history of this league?
Absolutely.
Because they got DeMarcus Cousins waiting in the wings, right? So it's not fair. But the point is that he has 3 rings and he has no finals MVPs. Is that fair or unfair? But if we're talking about Mount Rushmore, you need accolades, right?
Yes.
And Iggy won it over him the first time around, and then Kevin obviously won back-to-back. And then I'm going to nitpick here, but I'm going to go back to that fateful Game 7. LeBron's 1 ring in Cleveland. What happened to Steph in that game at Oracle? That's a home game, 7, against LeBron and Kyrie when it's kind of an even playing field. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Because there's no Kevin Durant. It's you and Clay and Draymond against LeBron and Kyrie and Kevin Love, right? Okay, so that's kind of a fair fight, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
And what happened in Game 7? Steph scored 17, but it was on 6 of 19 shots. He was 4 of 14 from 3. He had only 2 assists and 4 turnovers in that game. This is Game 7 now. This is Rushmore. And in the fourth quarter, he scored a grand total of 3 points, and he was 1 for 6 from the field and 1 for 5 from 3, and had that one horrendous turnover when he flipped it behind his back into the third row.
Right.
Okay, that's not a great fourth quarter.
No.
And it was kind of a seesaw game, back and forth. Neither team played great in the fourth quarter, but that's your game, right? Is that a Rushmore game?
No.
He had it in the palm of his hand, and he couldn't pull it off. But has he changed the game? Well, sure he is.
Because that's what everybody's doing now. I mean, all things being equal. Think about it, Skip. DeAndre Ayton is 7 foot tall, and he's shooting threes. Mo Bamba has an 8.5 foot wingspan. He's shooting threes. Can you imagine Patrick?
Jokic. Jokic just stands out there and shoots like moon balls. I'm saying, what are you doing?
Maybe Olajuwon, maybe Patrick Ewing, if they got the ball with 3 seconds, they would throw up. But they're not going behind the three-point line to try to launch a 3, and that's what we've seen. So Steph Curry, the evolution of the three-point ball can be traced to Steph Curry, because there have been other great three-point shooters, Reggie Miller, Ray Allen. Those guys didn't do for the three-point shot what he's done for the three-point shot.
And by the way, the three-pointer, especially shot by this guy in this building at Oracle, is the most psychologically damaging shot in basketball. It used to be the dunk. There was a time when you got dunked out of the building psychologically. But now, when he starts making these, where he's making them from 35, 40 feet, like they're free throws, it's the crowd goes berserk for this, and it's hard to win a game at Oracle.
And it's hard to be the GOAT, Skip, when you have 3 guys that's already gotten 40 points in the game and you're 7 games into the season. How you be? You got a guy that went and got on 27 minutes. He went and got 52 the other night. You had another guy that just scored 25 in the fourth quarter.
Okay, so what if Steph, let's just do the hypothetical. What if he were a Clipper and he were doing this sort of by himself? By himself.
Yeah, now we have a
discussion. And they were like a 7th seed and an 8th seed. Then what, would you feel differently? Because I don't know. Maybe you'd be saying, wow, he deserves more Rushmore consideration.
And especially with the evolution of the three-point shot, he's doing this. He get the Clippers to a final. I mean, getting don't get me wrong, because the Warriors used to be a laughingstock. I mean, before they had Run TMC.
I covered them for a while, and they were worse than they were out of sight, out of mind. They were irrelevant.
You're exactly right. But if it's just hard for me, Skip, knowing that KD is there. And KD was the guy that put them over the hump, because I don't believe they're a dynasty. I don't believe we're having this discussion had KD not gone there, because I believe we might be having a discussion and things might be different in Cleveland. Who knows? Maybe LeBron stays. Maybe Kyrie doesn't ask to get traded. Who knows? But when KD came, he swung the pendulum so far in their favor. And now you'll find no one, with the exception of maybe Bob Myers, that thinks Steph Curry is better than Kevin Durant.
That is correct.
No other NBA player, no other NBA exec will say Steph Curry is a better player than Kevin Durant. And if you're not the best player on your own team, how can you be a Mount Rushmore? Like I said, who are you taking off? Because remember, to put somebody on, you got to take somebody off. And what about the guys that's waiting in line talking about me? Larry Bird got something. I mean, if Kareem's not up there, Kareem's like, whoa, I got 38,000 points, 6 MVPs, 10 finals. What am I going to Wilt, if Wilt's not on there, if Russell's not up there, Jordan, LeBron. So, what we
You know what? I'm now willing to give LeBron consideration for Mount Rushmore after he made that free throw last night.
You know what, Skip?
I am,
Only
because that was huge.
You know
He made a late game-winning free throw.
I wonder if they.
That's big against the Dallas
Mavericks. I think Shannon thinks he's already up there.
That got them to
That's what these old gummy mint.
It's very nice of you.
This a
All
gummy
right,
mint
Skip,
that
we're going to talk more about LeBron then.
wow.
Were there more positives or negatives? Skip's a little bit more impressed now. We'll discuss with Chris Broussard next.
No mercy.
So the Lakers needed a win badly last night after losing 2 in a row. LeBron even came to the game dressed as Jason from Friday the 13th. I could have done without that. But either way, they were rolling for most of the game. LeBron put them up by 14 with just over 4 minutes left in the game. But the Mavs came back and tied it with under 10 seconds left. LeBron was then fouled with 2 seconds left, missed the first free throw, but sank the second to give the Lakers a 114-113 win. And after the game, LeBron said, quote, "The best teacher in life is experience, and it's great that these young guys are getting this experience." FS1 NBA analyst Chris Broussard joining us this morning. Good to have you.
Good to be here.
In your opinion, more positives or negatives from that Lakers win last night?
Well, obviously there were a lot of negatives. I mean, their defense,
yeah,
up and down. 21 points they allow in the first quarter, 22 in the third, but then 38 in the second, 32 in the fourth. So the defense was entirely up and down. Obviously, you gave up a big lead a few times.
Yes.
But then down the stretch, and, it was just ugly down the stretch. However, having covered the NBA for almost 25 years now, I have learned that a win is a win. And especially in the Western Conference, where at the end of the season, it could be 2 or 3 games that separate you from the 9th seed out of the playoffs and the 4th seed home court advantage. And a young team that needed a win, that had been struggling, coming together. So I think overall, just getting the win was a big positive. And the three-point shooting. That's what this team's main weakness was supposed to be. Last night, they obviously shot it great, 10 for 17, 59%. And the thing is, over the last 6 games, they have shot it well. They've been 38.6% from 3 over the last 6 games, which is 6th best in the league.
Thanks to Lonzo at 41%.
Hey, I'll give Lonzo his credit. I agree. And so the fact that they shot well from the 3, the fact that they did end up winning the game, and I think Luka alluded to it after the game, that we didn't just want to run through LeBron at the end of the game. We wanted to get some of the young guys involved and work that out. I think those are positives that outweigh the negatives. Look, they look like a typical LeBron James team when he first gets there. I thought it might be different this time, but it's not. When he went to Miami, it looked bad. When he went to Cleveland, it looked bad because it takes time to adjust to LeBron. And then this team, they have it even worse because they really are trying to do 2 things that I don't know that those 2 things go together. They're trying to find out what young guys are keepers. Who can play with LeBron? Can Lonzo play with LeBron? Is Ingram a 2nd or 3rd star? What's Kuzma? How all these guys fit around LeBron for the future. But then they're trying to win now to some degree. Get to the playoffs, maybe, make a run. That's why they brought in the vets, Rondo, Lance Stevenson. And I don't know that those 2 things go together.
They don't.
And so that's why they look so disjointed at times and like almost 2 separate teams.
I was slightly discouraged because they had a 17-point lead in the first quarter. They had a 14-point lead in the fourth with 4 minutes to go. And now with 13 seconds on the clock, you're in a tie ball game. The Mavericks, look, they're NBA players and they have a few good players. But LeBron should have played about 25 to 30 minutes last night and been on the bench the fourth quarter. That's what should have happened. But you get careless with the basketball. You don't play defense. And that's what happens. If you don't play defense, the last thing you can do is turn the ball over. Because not only are you giving up layups and threes, on the other end, you're not even getting possession. You're not even getting cracks at the rim on your own possessions. So the next thing you know, a 17-point lead, you got careless with the ball. They hit 1 3, 2 threes, layup, and now all of a sudden, boom, here we are. You've made it a ball game, or you let them make a ball game. You've given them confidence. Luke needs to. He's going to have to come up with a lineup. He's going to have to come up with a rotation, and he's going to have to feel comfortable. Right now,
stick with it.
Right now, he's what my grandpa used to say. He's stepping on lips because he looked down the sideline. He want to point to a guy, and the guy got his lips stuck out because he ain't played but 3 minutes, or he ain't played but 5 minutes. You're trying to please or appease too many guys, Skip, and you're upsetting a lot of other guys. Josh Hart does not look the same player coming off the bench as he did when he was starting. Lonzo. You take him out the last 4 minutes of this first quarter, and you don't play him the first 4 minutes of the second quarter. Hell, I'm cold. And I'm in my house in my pajamas, so I can imagine him sitting in a big old arena. Man, let the man get a rhythm. You need to find out. What you need to find out, we know what Rondo is.
You watch games in your pajamas?
My LeBron.
Your LeBron.
I got my
Oh,
LeBron.
for that, for good luck.
And my slippers. You know the
got
slippers
LeBron's-
you got me
LeBron's
there.
face on
Yeah,
them?
my slippers. They wouldn't let me wear them in the commercial. Say they couldn't get the.
Post that on Instagram, please.
I'm not going to do it.
Why not?
I'm not going to do it, Skip Bayless. I don't post personal stuff on my IG. But anyway, as I was saying.
Doubtful. Okay.
As I was saying. But I was more discouraged than I was encouraged because if you struggling to put away the Mavericks, everybody else, Sacramento's better this year. Yeah. Everybody in the Western Conference is better this year. So if you struggle putting them guys away, the likelihood of you getting a 17-point lead on the Warriors or any of these good teams, so you're going to be struggling for a long, long time. So I was disappointed in what I saw last night. Happy with the win, but disappointed how we ended up getting there.
So, first of all, I would like to publicly congratulate LeBron James for making the second free throw after choking the first one.
He didn't choke.
He choked because it was almost an air ball. It barely grazed the front of the rim. And I thought it took great guts to step back up there and make the one that had to be made to avoid overtime. Yeah. Now, you do have the safety net of overtime. It's not a do-or-die free throw, but he made it, and he almost swished it. It just clipped a little bit of the back iron, but it was still, he shot it with conviction, and I was impressed.
I wanted him to miss it.
Not that easy after that. Well,
I wanted to miss it to go to overtime so he could go off in overtime for 15.
Well, that brings me to my other issue with last night's game, because I'm not sure he would have been allowed to go off for 15 because the coach took the basketball out of LeBron's hands on 3 straight possessions with under a minute left in the game, and I was dumbfounded watching because LeBron kept trotting over like Lonzo did last year to the offside, to the weak side, and standing and watching. And I'm saying, King, go get the basketball. This is your game. You got to close this. I told you they had 5 winnable games that they had lost before, and I kept waiting for LeBron to close it, and he either couldn't or wouldn't. Is he trying to find out who can close? He's the best player on the team, like by far. This is the first time in his career there's no second star, there's no co-star, there's no third star. It's kids and cast-offs. And again, if you think they're going to be viable and you guys think, you got them 3rd seed and it's like 3rd or 4th seed? Yeah. Well, these are the games you got to make sure you win in the Western Conference.
But I look at it like this, Skip. When we first started this show, you used to lead the discussion. But you had to get comfortable to be able to let me lead. So you took off. You like, I'm going. I'm going to go. And now, guess what?
No, I let you go so I can close the deal.
No. And so now, you like, I feel comfortable. O'Shea going to do his job. So you sit back, it's like, you feel good. That's what Luke's trying to do.
Okay.
So on 3 straight possessions, Luke did this. Could we hear Luke's sound from after the game last night? How he framed this?
Down the stretch, there were a couple possessions where the ball wasn't in LeBron's hands and went through Ingram a couple times. Do you like that? Is that something that was called?
We called that. Part of what we're trying to do here is we know LeBron can win games, and it's important for us to win games. But we also know where we're trying to get to. We need other people that are going to step up and make plays. And Brandon had it rolling before his 5th foul.
Okay, so is winning no longer the priority this year? You're going to experiment in a real game And it's not one possession, it was 3 straight because the play gets called for Brandon the first time and he gets fouled and goes to the line and he missed the first one and made the second one. These are all crucial free throws, obviously, so they're partly to blame too. Then the next time down, he just flat out travels, his feet went out from under him, he traveled with the basketball. Bad turnover in a crucial moment. Next time down, Kuzma winds up with the ball. I think the play was called for him and he got fouled and he missed the first free throw and made the second one. 3 trips in which the best player on the planet, according to you and you, that he just stood over on the side basically with his hands on his hips and watched. And I was just like, what is happening here? Is LeBron going to be okay with this? Is he going to be offended by it? Is he going to be angry about it? Did he bless this before the game?
Long term. We look at long-term, Skip, baby.
I know, but these count.
Well, I think they were thinking they wouldn't have done this against Utah or Golden State or Houston or whoever. But I think they felt like
for Dallas?
I think they felt we could do this against that. One, we had a big enough lead. We can do it against Dallas, and it almost backfired.
Backfired.
Look, LeBron's played like this way his whole career. But there's a part of me sometimes that would like to see him say, I'm either the point guard for 40 minutes, right? I'm the point guard.
Yeah.
I'm the Magic Johnson. I'm not a small forward. I'm a point guard. Or I'm off the ball for 40 minutes. Like, I think it's tough to adjust to. And then I think at times he gets involved, at times. But most of the time when LeBron's not on the ball, he just almost takes the play off and stands on the wing and kind of chill.
We want to see that.
Right. And now at times when he gets on the elbow, he'll make a great pass.
I agree, and he made some last night.
Yeah, when he's off the ball, I would like to see maybe some movement. I mean, maybe it's too much to ask 16
but
to be moving a lot, but he can't just stand there. At least be a decoy.
Right. Go ahead.
He was born to have the basketball in his hands. He's still the best passer in the whole game, and I love to watch them. Even earlier in the fourth quarter, he was orchestrating. He belongs there.
But he doesn't want to do it all the time.
But why not?
He's always, even in Miami, I talked to him right when he got there, and he was kind of playing point guard. I don't want to be a point guard. Like, he wants to play it some of the time, probably because he can do so many things.
Right.
He doesn't just want to limit himself.
What was the greatest stretch of his career? Is when he lost Kyrie and Kevin Love in the first finals against Golden State. He just took the games over.
Right.
Oh, it was spectacular.
But the thing is a blessing and a curse when you have so many guys that can initiate offense. If you notice, when LeBron say, give me the ball, ain't nobody passing the ball. Lance bringing the ball up, Kuzma bringing the ball up, Ingram bringing the ball up.
Rondo.
The only guy that will give him the ball up is Lonzo.
He will.
If you watch these games, all the rest of the guys, Bron, I don't need Bron to make no play. I can make my own plays. But old Lonzo
they brought in them dogs, man.
I want Lonzo. I'm Team Lonzo now.
Good.
Is he? Okay, Chris, thank you for being here. You're going to join us later in the show. We're going to go back to Brady and Rodgers because Mike McCarthy, well, he compared them to Montana and Elway.
What?
We'll see if Skip and Shannon agree with that next.
No mercy.
All eyes will be on Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers when the Patriots host the Packers on Sunday night. Brady and Rodgers are considered to be not only the best quarterbacks right now, but 2 of the best of all time. And yesterday, Mike McCarthy compared them to 2 other all-time greats, Joe Montana and John Elway. Brady, like Montana, is one of the most accomplished quarterbacks ever, and Elway, like Rodgers, is one of the most talented quarterbacks of all time. So, Shannon, do you agree with Coach McCarthy?
Yeah, and I understand, and I know somebody's going to probably say, oh.
Wait, has somebody spoken yet?
No,
So is this words in mouth?
I'm saying I know
You first.
someone.
Do you want me to go first?
No, I do not want you to go first, and I would like if you would stop interrupting me.
So somebody's going to say?
I didn't say you.
Somebody.
Someone I know is going to say Aaron Rodgers is going to be upset at his coach, but I don't know who that is.
No.
I do believe the comparisons because let me tell you why. Because having played in the era when Montana, obviously I played 9 years with John, is that many thought Montana was more accomplished, but John was the better of the 2 quarterbacks. Because they said had you surrounded John with a Jerry Rice, a John Taylor, Brett Jones, give him Bill Walsh, give him
that was a shot at you. He had you.
I wasn't there then, Skip.
Oh, well, what do you mean? Through John's run?
No, by the time I got there, he had already taken them to 3 Super Bowls and lost.
Right.
When I got there, we got
everything changed.
Yeah, we thought he got it. And we got on TD. We had to get 32 now. We had to get 30. Had to get 30 up in that thing. Because Skip, that matters. And not to say Dan Reeves was a very good coach, and I appreciate him. Thank you, Dan, for believing in me. But when you look at it, you look at the evolution of the passing game and how the short passing game and Bill Walsh is regarded as, in many circles, as a genius because of what he was able to implement. And this is what you see with Coach Belichick and Tom Brady as opposed to Mike McCarthy. Not to say Mike McCarthy, I don't think he's a bad coach, but I don't think he's on the level with Coach Belichick. And so I think this is the comparison that Mike McCarthy was trying to make. He's like, okay, yeah, you have 2 guys that are very, very accomplished. And if you were to switch situations, I believe the same would have happened. I believe Elway would have won Super Bowls under Bill Walsh. I believe Aaron would win Super Bowls under Coach Belichick. But at just face value, quarterback for quarterback, throw for throw, 12 in the green and gold and 7 in the blue and orange. Make no mistake about it. Those 2 are the best.
So I'm a little lost here.
Well, I'm gonna help you get found.
Who in this comparison is Aaron Rodgers? Is Mike McCarthy saying that Elway is Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing?
Yes.
Yes.
So you played with with John Elway for what, 9 years? Aren't you offended by that?
Nah.
You're not offended by it? You like it, you welcome it, you embrace that comparison
Because
of Aaron Rodgers to John Elway?
Skip, I understand.
Help me out. I thought you'd be outraged over this.
No.
I thought you'd be throwing things over there.
No.
No?
Because I understand the comparison that Mike is trying to make. He's saying if you look at Tom and you look at Aaron, one has 5 Super Bowls, the other has 1. But as a quarterback, and you look at John Elway, one has 2, the other has 4. And at the time, John didn't have any. But people thought because those teams that got to the Super Bowl, there's no way these Bronco teams are supposed to be in the Super Bowl. And somehow, by hook or crook, number 7 got them here.
It was by number 7.
Yeah.
He got them there 3 times, and they didn't belong, man.
No,
and once they got there, they got exposed.
And they showed they didn't belong.
Okay?
They didn't belong.
So aren't you offended by this? Aren't you going to protect your man?
Oh, I know what 7
7?
I know what 7 is capable of.
It sounds to me like the man across from me is backed into a corner on this one, and he can't get out of it because he can't. He's got to defend his number 12, but he's also got to balance it with number 7.
Okay, look. We got 4 guys up on the board. And I think all of these you could make a case that all of them belong on Mount Rushmore. But you give me a choice, I'm not leaving 7 because I know what he's capable of doing. To come from behind victory, when he left the game, he had more than anybody. Big moments. Think about what he did at Cleveland. 98 yards.
The drive.
You don't need a field goal, Jen. You got to get the tub. And get into overtime and then go back down the field and get that field goal to win it. So I know what he
didn't have to drag you along while he was doing it, right?
No, I wouldn't know. I was just getting to college. I think that was 86. The drive was 86.
Thank you.
Yeah. I was getting ready to do that thing for Savannah State.
Okay, so I got to do a little simple math here.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
We're comparing Aaron Rodgers to a John Elway who did play in 5 Super Bowls.
Yes.
In the first 3, as you just said,
yes,
he got them there against all odds.
Yes.
I don't know how they got there. It was just because of number 7.
You're correct.
Right? And then he runs into Phil Simms playing, I thought, the greatest Super Bowl quarterback game I'd ever seen to that point.
22 or 25.
That worked,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And then the great Doug Williams throws a big party
5
on him.
TDs in the second
I'd
quarter.
say that would work, right? And then it's Joe Montana with 5 more touchdown passes. That's an avalanche in the first half. And that's not fair.
No.
And then, thanks to you and Terrell Davis, you win your 2 Super Bowls, but you play in 5.
Yeah.
And the guy we're comparing him to played in 1 that was 9 years ago.
Skip.
9 years ago. Well, help me out. I don't get it.
Okay, well,
what are we doing here?
Okay, let me help you out. He's not comparing. He was comparing. He said, okay, we're comparing. We look at in today's game. We say Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady are the best. One guy has 5 Super Bowls. The other has 1.
One guy's played in 8, and the other guy's played in 1.
John Elway at the time didn't have any Super Bowls. Montana had 4. But people were saying if you were to switch roles, I do not believe Joe can do for Denver what John did, but I believe John can do in San Francisco what Joe did. People also said on the flip side, if you flip Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, I believe Aaron is going to get to as many Super Bowls as Tom did. But I don't know if Tom is going to be able to do. So what they're saying, while the other guys are more accomplished, I believe the other two are the better of the quarterback. Mike McCarthy has said you tried to make it a comparison because, you think it's beneath anyone to say Aaron Rodgers is better than Tom Brady. So what you try to do is pin me to the...
beneath anyone, it's just silly.
No, it's not silly.
It's silly.
It's not. But what he tried to do, JD, he talking about, you're not going to stand up for your man? You're not going to stand up for your guy?
You need to defend your man.
What I need to defend
him for?
He
helped put you in the Hall of Fame.
He did.
Okay.
And I thanked him for that. Did you hear my Hall of Fame speech?
Yeah,
I thanked him for it.
Well, you should, and you should defend him right now.
I did defend him.
You should say, this is an outrageously wrong comparison. That's what you should be saying.
No.
You should be banging the table.
I'm banging the table saying I understand what Mike McCarthy is saying. You were trying to make it about Aaron Rodgers and John Elway. But what Mike McCarthy is saying is that the other two guys are more accomplished. I'm not so sure the latter two guys aren't the better of the two quarterbacks. Two things can be true, Skip Bayless.
He's trying to elevate, Mike McCarthy is trying to elevate Aaron Rodgers in ways he doesn't deserve to be elevated because Mike coaches Aaron Rodgers. And I think Mike barely clings to his job because Aaron Rodgers doesn't call for his job. Right? Simple as that.
Well, maybe Tom Brady hadn't called for Coach Belichick's job.
Well, he should.
He ain't got that kind of power.
Last year.
He ain't got that kind of call. They ain't made a phone that'll make him reach that can get that info.
Tom Brady is a great teammate. Tom Brady doesn't call for jobs.
You know what, Skip? Will you stop? Listen, I understand. Everybody can't. Okay, John was different than other quarterbacks. I saw the way some of the quarterbacks would yell at their players if they ran the wrong route, or if they dropped a pass, or they missed an assignment. John was never like that. If he had a problem with something I had done, he waited till it was out of the eye of the camera, or he called me. He would say to me, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now he understood I was going to be more receptive that way as opposed to the other way. Because if you come to me, look, here's the thing. You play me to the left, I play you to the right, we meet in the middle and we talk about it.
Sure.
Well, we could have done that to the beginning. Because if you buck with me, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to buck back. But John was never like that, Skip. I mean, think about this.
But think about this. All you have to defend Aaron Rodgers is the eye test. He's a beautiful thrower of the football. That's all you can give me because you can't give me performance. You can't give me achievements. You can't give me legacy because there isn't any.
Highest quarterback rating in NFL history.
Please.
The highest touchdown to interception ratio in NFL.
Show me postseason. Show me when it matters. One Super Bowl 9 years ago does not qualify.
Well, when Tom Brady's team in all those 37 games have only given up 37 or more points 3 times, and Aaron Rodgers in 17 games have given up that number at least 5 times, well, you could understand. Because Aaron Rodgers threw for 420 and lost the game when his team gave up 51. Now,
Tom Brady threw for a playoff record 505 and lost when his coach gave up 41.
See, I love how you do that.
He's the defensive genius.
I love how you do that.
Well,
hold on. What about Dom Capers?
Belichick didn't do it.
Is Dom Capers considered a defensive genius?
Yeah, he was pretty good.
He gave up 51. A 51 spot in the playoffs.
So Aaron Rodgers had this one sort of Elway-esque run where they were the 6th seed, they were the road wild card team, and they upset Michael Vick, and they upset Matt Ryan, and then they upset Jay Cutler in Chicago because,
Vick wasn't there then. That was Matt Ryan when they went to Atlanta, the Georgia Dome.
No, I'm saying Vick was in Philly.
Oh yeah.
The first time, and then Matt Ryan.
Yes.
And then he goes to Chicago, and my man Jay Cutler, he's on the bicycle in the second half, and it's Caleb Haney.
Oh, where did Jay Cutler go to school?
He went to Vanderbilt.
Oh, is that how Vanderbilt players do it?
He was the SEC Player of the Year.
That was a long time ago. You say we don't bring that up? You say we don't bring up long time ago.
So Jay Cutler's on the bicycle, and Aaron Rodgers beat Caleb Haney to get to his one Super Bowl. There's nothing here. There's no there.
Long time ago in a land far, far away.
John, I got your back.
No, you don't. No, you don't. What you trying to do is you trying to cut into my ability to go to Elway's and get meals. That's what you trying to do.
I think you just lost.
Nah, 7, no, we good.
Yeah.
7 and I are great.
Yeah.
And you can't come between us.
You were great.
No, we are. Ain't no were. We are great.
I love how you say, show us when it matters. And boy, it's going to matter on Sunday. We're looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
Skip.
Whew.
I'm telling
Getting
you.
excited.
You better not let the Packers win on Sunday. I might come in here with a smoking jacket.
But wait a second, just real quick.
Okay.
The Packers won the one time they've met, which was back in 2014.
14, I think was the last time.
Yeah, 2014 they met at Lambeau,
Yep.
right? And Aaron Rodgers won. And then what happened? Aaron Rodgers made it to the NFC Championship game and stunk it up.
No,
played his worst playoff game
all the
ever.
guy had to do was his job. The hands team, the guy, Harris, Jordy Nelson right here.
I know.
He's supposed to block.
I'll show you the columns that got the scathing columns about Aaron Rodgers because they were out on his.
They be hating on Aaron Rodgers.
Well, because he stunk it up. By his standards.
Because you know
what did Tom Brady go from that game and do? He went on to beat Seattle in the Super Bowl. So it didn't really matter. It was a springboard. So if Aaron wins this one, it won't really matter.
Okay. I remember you said that now. Because if Tom Brady wins, it doesn't really matter because we haven't seen how they.
We can't decide until we've actually seen the game, and I apologize. I got you guys on that tangent. We're going back to what happened in Minnesota last night. Can Derrick Rose be a star in the NBA again? We'll discuss next.
No mercy.
Derrick Rose turned back the clock in a big way last night. He scored a career high, 50 points in a win over the Jazz. Rose has struggled with injuries since being the MVP back in 2011, but he played 41 minutes last night since the Wolves were without Jimmy Butler. We're joined once again by Chris Broussard. Chris, it was quite the performance last night. Can he be a star again, in your opinion?
I don't think so. I wish I could say yes, but certainly he can't ever get back to the MVP level. Right. I don't think he can even get to perennial all-star level. I think at best he could be like maybe a sixth man of the year. Maybe if he were in the East. In the West, you can't even be an all-star with all the guards in the West.
No.
Maybe if he were in the East, could he do a Bernard King, maybe make an all-star team, Grant Hill here or there, maybe once or something like that. But I think at best could give you 18 points a game off the bench and be a really effective leader at your second unit and help a team win. I think if you gave him his own team like he had in Chicago, I do think he could put up numbers, maybe score in the low 20s, but I don't think you'd win like you did. The game is so much different
now.
And last night, Utah was basically giving him the mid-range jumper because a lot of guys in this league don't shoot the mid-range jumper very well or even shoot it, period. He is great at the mid-range jump shot. And then if you've been watching the games this season, I know as you all have, it is easier than ever to get to the rim. Every team, it's a joke because a lot of guys go to the rim and they aren't always looking to shoot. They're looking to kick out, So teams are almost like, we'd rather you get in.
We'll give you two,
not three. And so that just plays into Derrick Rose's game. And I was talking to somebody in Minnesota about this. They were saying last night was the first time Derrick Rose has had the ball in his hands as the point guard since he's been in Minnesota. Last year, they said, this shocked me. They were playing him at the 3 because they had Jeff Teague at the point, Jamal Crawford is the backup 2, and then he would be the 3, and he would just go out and play because he wanted to get on the court. This year, he's not the backup point. He's the backup 2. Tyus Jones is the backup point. So he really doesn't get the opportunities that he used to get. But, no, I don't think he could be a perennial all-star or anything like that.
I agree. I agree for everything you just said, especially in the Western Conference when it's so loaded. They go 6 deep at the guard position. You got 2 in Portland. You got Russ, Harden, CP3, Clay, Steph. So the guard situation is done. But I also agree that he can be, and he said it, when he first got into the league, he wanted to be an MVP. Check. He says now he's a 6th man. He comes off the bench. I want to be the 6th man of the year. And I think Bill Walton is the only guy that's ever won MVP and been the 6th man of the year. So that would be that would be a nice little, checking on the resume. It was special. That night was meant to be. It was meant to happen. And Skip, as you get older, you appreciate things more. I remember my first year back in Denver is that when I broke the record for the most receiving yards, Skip, I think it meant more to me because I knew my career was coming to an end. Had I done it in year 5, year 6, it probably wouldn't have been meant as much to me because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna break this again. I got 5, 6, 7 more years to do this. But Derrick Rose knows it's getting closer to the end, and he realized what he was. But last night offered everybody a glimpse of what this young man could have been. And it robbed us. Those injuries robbed him, and it robbed us the ability to see him at his absolute apex. He was unbelievable last night. 50 points on 31 shots, 4-7. Derrick Rose not a three-point shooter. Dude went 4-7. That lets you know it was meant to be. And he's shown flashes, even like you said, the Knicks. Even in Cleveland last year, there were spots that, like, oh, man, look at D. Rose. But last night was a night he'll never, ever forget. And but I don't think he can't continue this play because you got to realize who they were without. They were without Jeff Teague. They were without Jimmy Butler. Those 31 shots are going to probably get chopped up because Jimmy Butler's going to get his shot.
At best, he's the fourth option. At best.
True.
Wow.
Right.
At best.
That's true. This young man is now 30 years of age. And
we talk about it like he's 35.
no, well, it's true because it feels like he's been around that long. And I don't want to rain on the parade that was just like a fairy tale last night. I felt like I was watching a movie whose script I would find completely unbelievable. Like this doesn't happen. This is one of those stupid sports movies, right? Where I'm walking out of this one. Bernstein, we're out. We're out.
We already know how it's going to
Give it a shot.
Unrealistic.
It just can't happen. But listen, it's hard to score 50 points in an NBA game. I don't care who you are or what you've been or not. It's just hard to score 50. So I don't want to take anything away from that. The circumstances were he had a little axe to grind with Utah because they just flat out waived him last year when he got traded with Jay Crowder to
They didn't want to see what he could do.
They didn't want to check him out. And I do think that team wanted to show Jimmy Butler, okay, if you're going to take a night off, we'll show you we can win without you and beat a good team in Utah. So they had that going for them, and that's why the team mobbed Derrick after the game. I think they were all really celebrating an early season win over a good team and especially a good defensive team. But I will say, I saw a Derrick Rose last night who looked healthy for the first time in a really long time, where he looked as explosive as I've seen him look since 2011 because he's had one injury after another, and then I think it started eating at his psyche where he lost confidence. He didn't lose confidence in himself. He lost confidence in his legs.
Yeah, I agree.
And if you do, you're out in this league. So he's bounced around, and he's lost heart for the game, and he's had these leaves of absence that are sort of, like what's going on
in Cleveland, the Knicks, where he just left for a ball game.
Really?
Where no one knew who he was, and boom.
I understood why he was crying last night.
Yeah.
Because, we've seen it, Penny Hardaway, Grant Hill, we mentioned, but for you to go from the MVP at such a young stage of your career, and you're winning. You're a 60-win team. You're always in the hunt for a title. To become, like you said, cut by Utah. You're backing up guys that couldn't carry your
backing
jock
up
strap back in
Cleveland.
the day. And you don't get a shot. Like, I think part of the reason he left Cleveland and gone through this mental anguish, he wasn't getting a shot. He's in these positions where his game, he couldn't play with LeBron. There's just his game, they don't match.
I agree.
And then you got Isaiah Thomas there. So that was the whole thing. Like, and then to have to be in Minnesota, where a guy that was playing like 5 minutes a game when you were the superstar, Jimmy Butler, who was nothing,
that is
and
true.
now he's the star, and he's acting out like, and you got to sit there and.
That's a good point.
I'm not saying he's mad at Jimmy, but that's
give me those Jimmy Butler minutes.
It's tough.
So I'm with you. I wrote down that very number. I still think he could average 18 points a game, which is still pretty good.
That's pretty
and
good
I
off
do
the
think
bench.
because it's all about narrative to win an award, right? This would be a great narrative that he came back from the near basketball dead to win Sixth Man of the Year. I would give him a shot on narrative.
Yes.
J.R. Smith won this award once upon a time, right? If J.R. Smith can win it, can Derrick win it? Yeah. They need some team success. They need Jimmy to stay, and they need to get on a roll. And I think they could.
Oh, yeah.
I still think they're pretty good.
I think the best thing for Jimmy, not to get off the subject, but for him, he wants out, obviously.
Yeah.
For him to be traded, play your best, be professional, help the Timberwolves win as many games as they can before the trade deadline in February, because they're gonna have to trade you. Yeah. Like if they know you're not staying, and they don't want to go over the luxury tax to pay you, they're going to have to trade you by February. They can act tough.
Tibbs is going to fight for him to stay, to keep.
But I don't think Tibbs' footing is strong enough anymore in Minnesota to just be like, we'll keep.
But they know what they gave up to get Jimmy. And they see Zach LaVine balling in Chicago.
Yes.
And they're like, we're not just finna give you away to the Miami Heat.
True.
But if he's acting up, I mean, Jimmy just needs to be professional, put on a good face, and play. He's playing great.
Great.
But some of this stuff it turns some teams off. Not all teams, but some teams this stuff turns off.
All right, Chris, thank you for joining us. We're going back to it. Who's the best quarterback right now, Brady or Rodgers? Former All-Pro linebacker Shawne Merriman, he's going to answer that question next.
No mercy.
All right, Sunday night, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. This is the one we've been talking about. We're looking forward to it. Shawne Merriman is joining us now on Undisputed. Good to have you back with us.
Thank you. Sure. Thanks for having me.
It's a favorite question around here. Who is the better quarterback? Who are you going with?
I'm a little biased because Brady put me out of many AFC championship games and playoffs and whatnot. But Aaron Rodgers, to me personally, Aaron Rodgers is the one, if you're going up, you're lining up against him, I'm worrying about just him. When you're playing Tom Brady, you're not worrying about just Tom Brady. We're also worrying about Bill Belichick. If you're on the defense side of the ball, you know what's coming. You're not just lining up against Tom Brady, you're also lining up against Bill Belichick. I ain't never lined up against Aaron Rodgers and said, oh, Mike McCarthy, I got to go and prepare for what he's about to call. No, I know that Aaron Rodgers is the one that's going to go out there and create these big plays. I know Aaron Rodgers is going to go out there and extend these drives. He's the more exciting guy. He's the one, and as a defensive player, you don't want to say put fear, because that's the strong word, but he's the one that you worry about more that's going to be able to do damage against you than Tom Brady. Tom Brady, I'm not worried. I'm worried more about Bill Belichick and him out-coaching us than Tom Brady beating us on the field.
You want to go, Skip, or you want me to go? I mean, I'll let you go if you want to. I mean, I don't really have a whole lot to add, so I would want you to go, and I'll just follow up you. Don't you want to go after this?
I would like to go if you'll
let me. I would love for you to go.
My friend Shawne Merriman is living in the past, and I hate to bring this up because he's about to fight bare knuckles maybe coming up, and I'm afraid he might just knock me right out of my chair. But I think you're thinking of the old Bill Belichick when he had his fastball. I think he's lost his fastball on defense. I think this team is Brady or bust because we saw what happened in the Super Bowl. Belichick's defense got torched. It got torched by Blake Bortles this year. It got torched by Matt Stafford this year. It got torched to the tune of 31 points by Kansas City in the second half at Foxborough. So it's a liability on defense. Aaron's defense is a little better, and it's not great, but I thought it played really well at L.A., right? It's a little better than Tom Brady's defense.
They were giving, Green Bay's defense was also giving up 116 yards before that game. I mean, I wouldn't call them great. I mean, they might have been playing better than they have in the past. But, one thing that stuck out in that one time is when Tom Brady came out and said, look, if Aaron Rodgers played here, he would probably pass for 7,000 yards. I think that Tom Brady also knows that Aaron Rodgers is the better quarterback, but he's been playing for a better organization. Tom Brady's been playing for a better organization. And when you say that as a quarterback and Tom Brady being known as the GOAT, as the best, and you're saying that out of your own mouth. You're saying, hey, this guy's better than me, and if he was playing here, he would have 7,000 yards.
So I was looking at this question as more big picture, like who's the better quarterback all time, but you're just doing it right here, right now. And I remind you, Tom Brady is the reigning MVP of this league. And I think he's making a case that he's the MVP right here, right now.
Not even close.
Oh,
no. What do the odds makers say?
I don't care what the odds makers.
We're going to talk about it tomorrow.
I know, but I'm just throwing this out. He's got this team to 6-2, and he didn't have Edelman, and Gronk's just a broken down shell of himself. Yeah. And he's lost Sony Michel, and they're trying a kick returner as their primary running back now.
And Aaron Rodgers had to do that for 4 years. Tom Montgomery, a kick returner playing running back.
Okay, we're doing right here, right now. Yeah. Is he doing it right now with Aaron Jones? Jamal Williams?
We had to let Tom Montgomery go. Skip, here's the thing. Even with the injury, Aaron Rodgers is 13-1, and he's been sacked. Only four of the quarterbacks have been sacked more than Aaron Rodgers. Now, since you talk about Tom Brady right here, right now, did you know he's tied for the most 8th in the league in interceptions. He has more interceptions than Mitchell Trubisky,
Then
Eli Manning.
Why does QBR say he's got the 9th best and Aaron Rodgers is 21st in the league in QBR? At 54, it's barely above average.
We want to do that.
Oh, we don't do QBR. Oh, okay.
Skip.
Well,
First
just
of all,
sweep it right under your carpet.
How about this? Tom Brady is still mentally as sharp as ever. He knows everything. There's not a defense.
Don't tell me he's eroding physically. Don't tell me that.
He was never, even at his apex, he could never touch that number 12 in Green Bay. It's physical.
Never.
Did you see Tom run with the football the other night?
Skip, stop! You saw
Hey, he tried. He ran 8 yards and got a first down.
Skip, you just tried. You just tried right now.
Skip, they're playing 22 man, and everybody hightailed it out of there, and they still almost got it.
You seen block for that reverse the other night?
Don't
tell me he doesn't take some punishment.
You ought to stop.
Well, he's 41 years of age.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What that got to do with us?
Hey, you know what? His arm strength, his velocity, his zip, it's right where it always was.
He's never. You're right about that because he's never had that.
Right.
Since I came in the league in 2005, I've never seen Tom Brady throw a 60 or 70 yard or 80 yard bomb off his back leg. I've never seen it. I've seen him throw some smart decision balls and they go for 80 yards, but I've never seen him wing it down the field ever.
Does he have a better arm than Rodgers?
No. He does not.
Okay, so
does that translate into winning football games when it matters most? I just saw him last year against Jacksonville in the AFC Championship game. They're down 20-10 in the fourth quarter. He throws for 138 just in the fourth quarter alone. That was just last year.
How many points
is Aaron Rodgers capable of doing that? I don't see him do that.
How many points did Jacksonville score in the fourth quarter?
Well, I don't know.
That's Coach Belichick's defense.
But that's the guy you hate, Blake Bortles. But he had them 20-10 up.
That's Coach Belichick's defense.
Yeah, they were 1 quarter away from the Super Bowl.
1 quarter.
And then what happened in the Super Bowl? Nick Foles put up 41 on genius Belichick's defense.
Yeah, because you gave him a turnover.
Really? 41 points? That was after they'd scored 40. They'd already scored 41.
Well, Nick Foles caught his touchdown. Tom Brady dropped his. There's the difference in your ball game.
And not to mention a cornerback who you benched because he missed curfew, whatever, Michael Butler.
He didn't miss anything.
Or whatever it was.
I mean, they all said he didn't do anything wrong.
Well, Coach Belichick looked like a genius because Malcolm Butler can't get on the field in Tennessee. He done got benched. They gave the man $60 million guaranteed, and he can't play a snap now.
So you like Eric Rowe over Malcolm Butler?
No, Eric Rose on IR.
Yeah, I know, but that's who he went with in the Super Bowl. Well, really? You like that?
At the time, coaches, I trust the coaches that they're going to do what's in the best interest of the team, and they're going to put the team first. So he felt that Eric Rowe gave them a better chance to win. You didn't say nothing when he put Malcolm Butler against Arrington. When he was getting torched by Seattle, everybody applauded that decision.
Right.
That's the genius of Coach Belichick. Now you want to question the manner in which he wins the ball game.
It was actually the genius of Malcolm Butler who broke on that ball the way I've never seen a cornerback break under pressure on the ball.
But hold on. Who in the week of practice leading up to that game did that play 3 or 4 times?
Bill Belichick.
Instincts, Malcolm Butler.
That doesn't do that.
Undrafted, West Alabama.
Who discovered him?
He should have been on the field last year. You know it, and I know it.
Undrafted.
Yep.
Coach Belichick Jr. Turned him into a Pro Bowl player.
Yep.
Got him paid.
Pro Bowl player was not on the field for a single snap of the whole Super Bowl while you're giving up 41. That's outrageous. That coach should have been fired over that. And I'm not exaggerating that.
Stop.
Fired.
You going to fire Coach Belichick?
He tried to push Tom Brady out the back door last year. Did he not? He should have been fired for that, even suggesting it. Jimmy Garoppolo should be the Patriots quarterback right now.
Yeah, that's what he wants.
You like that? You think they'd be 6-2? I don't.
Coach Belichick doesn't want to have happen to him what happened to Miami and happened to Buffalo. You know, they still haven't replaced Jim Kelly. They still haven't replaced Dan Marino. Dan Marino retired in 2000. Jim Kelly retired in 98.
Tom Brady wants to play until he's 45, and I'm not betting against Tom Brady.
He can't do that because of Kraft. I mean, he's going to be there as long as
Mr.
Kraft owns that team. Tom Brady's going to be there no matter what. He's not going anywhere until he walks out in the field his last practice with a cane.
But if Tom Brady hits the wall and falls off the cliff ability-wise, trust me, Robert Kraft.
His ability's gone now. He's not. Skip. He's not doing anything exceptional right now, other than being.
He didn't have Julian Edelman for 4 games.
Skip. Everybody's going to play to their 50
anymore.
Everybody's going to play to their 50 because you can't attack the quarterback.
Oh, so that's how it goes.
No, you can't.
You can hit them, though. You can knock them down.
But I better not land on top of you if I do knock you down.
So help me out here.
Yes, I'm going to try to
Aaron
help you
Rodgers, you can give me eye test, beauty contest, all you want, but he won one Super Bowl and played in only one Super Bowl, and it was 9 years ago. Even just since then, Tom Brady's played in 4 Super Bowls and is 13-5 in the postseason just in that span.
But that's what we're saying right now. We're saying that if Aaron Rodgers played for the Patriots, if Aaron Rodgers had Bill Belichick.
Aaron Rodgers is a diva, finger-pointing, blame deflector.
Yeah.
That's all he is.
So was Aretha Franklin, but she sure can sing.
Okay, yeah, but she didn't have to play football with teammates.
Yeah.
She didn't have to be the leader of a locker room. Tom Brady leads that locker room in ways that you can't even describe.
Aaron leads his locker room, just different.
He does not even.
And more importantly, he got to do it all.
Do it all.
He got to do it all.
He's got a better running game. He's got a better offensive line. He's got way better receivers. Is there a Devontae Adams in New England right now? I don't see
Where's
him.
Sonny Michel?
Show me.
Where's Sonny Michel?
Well, he's not playing.
Oh, stop. He missed one game, Skip.
Well, I don't think he's going to play.
What do you say?
Cordero Patterson's your starting running back. You like that?
But who put him there? Who got him to run that sweep for that? Who put him in the backfield?
Do you want
Tom
that?
Brady's not
you like
calling
that?
Coach Belichick.
Well, that's Josh McDaniels.
Coach Belichick.
Yeah. Huh? That's all you got?
That's genius.
And yet Tom Brady is still favored because he's Tom Brady. He's still favored by 5 points in this game.
Give Aaron Rodgers Coach Belichick and he'd be favored.
I don't know. You can't deny that point. All right. Thank you, Shawne, for joining us. Good luck this weekend. Draymond Green was fired up after the game last night. We will show you next.
No mercy.
The Warriors beat the Pelicans last night for their 6th straight win. Draymond Green finished with 16 points, 14 rebounds, 8 assists, but his defense stood out to Kevin Durant. KD said, quote, "He just takes us to another level." And after the game, Draymond was asked about what KD said and emphasized how he wants to win the Defensive Player of the Year award again. Let's hear it.
The Defensive Player of the Year award is something that, you're chasing again this year?
Yeah, I need that.
You need that?
I need that bad.
How bad?
Real bad. I made second team all defense last year. I'm pissed about that still. And I'll be pissed until I write that. So that's a serious goal of mine this year. And I'm on it every night. So, yeah.
You wake up like that then?
Absolutely. I'm pissed. Second team all defense, that's disrespectful.
Okay, it's good to have goals. Shannon, what do you make of this?
Well, he is an elite defender, and he wants to be recognized for his hard work. We all seek some sort of validation, no matter what we do, no matter what the profession is, and no matter what it. If I'm a jerk, I want to be a big jerk. I want to be one that I can be proud of what I do, no matter what I do. And Draymond is fueled. I mean, he was a second-round pick, so he's fueled by. He thought he should have been a first-round pick. That's a slight. He's like, okay, y'all say I'm the 4th best player. I hold this thing together. Yeah, we got KD, Steph, and Clay, but I'm the glue that keeps this all together. But he also knows, which is one of the most important, if not the most, he wins Defensive Player of the Year. Guess what, Skip? He's in line for a super max contract. 5 years, $235 million.
Correct.
That's $235 million. Why he need that bag?
Yeah.
They can only have one other super max on that roster.
So, KD wanted.
Yeah.
KD's like, hey, y'all need to break. Clay gonna want some money. So, Skip, I just think the thing is that maybe who knows? Maybe deep down they say, you know what? I believe there's a chance that KD gonna walk after this year. So how about we do sweepstakes? Steph, you get the MVP. I'm gonna get the Defensive Player of the Year. We win another championship. KD, you be the Finals MVP, and then whatever happens, happens.
Okay. So you could be right. This could be all about the Supermax. Although it didn't come across in that little conversation that we heard, it just sounded like he was PO'd about being disrespected as second team all defense, right?
Yeah. But I don't think he should have been. You think he should have been Defensive Player of the Year last year?
Not.
I do not either.
Do I think he's capable of winning it again? Yes, I do.
Yes.
So is this a selfish goal? You could say it is, but it's a selfish team goal because he didn't say, I want to win the scoring title.
Right.
That could be a problem, right?
Right.
He wants to be Defensive Player of the Year. Meanwhile, the other guy who's back-to-back Finals MVP, Kevin Durant, he stated before the year he wants to be Defensive Player of the Year. And the other guy named Klay Thompson stated before the year his goal is to be first team all defense.
Right.
And I remind everyone, once upon a time, Steph Curry led this league in steals, and since his rookie year, he's third in the NBA in steals, which contributes to defense.
Right.
This is not fair what's happening in Golden State, because all we talk about is the offense, and all they want to talk about publicly is they're mad about defense.
Right.
Right?
Because it's a slight, Skip. And the thing is, they know that they can go get buckets. They got 3 of the guys that can heat up. Like I said, in the first 7 games, they have 3 guys that have gotten over 40. So they know they can heat up. So now we need someone to play on the other end.
Okay.
And now you got everybody wanting to play on the other end.
So we've seen offensive juggernauts. We've seen three-point shooting circuses before, like the Rockets last year.
Yes.
They lead in attempts and makes from 3.
Right.
Do you hear them talking a lot about defense? Well, they did more last year, but not like this. Well, that's why I keep looking at this team and I say, just call it off. This is not right. You can't focus on defense when you're the best offensive team.
Skip,
right?
I have no problem with what he said he wanted. And I tell guys, when I talk to young guys, especially NFL players, I say, I want you to be selfish. I want you to say, if you want to be the MVP or you want to be first-team All-Pro, I say, I want you to go out, because if that means you're going to put the work in the offseason to do what it takes during the season, I got no problem with that. But do not put that in front of the team.
Okay.
I believe Draymond wants to be Defensive Player of the Year because he knows it will help the team. They don't really need Draymond to score. They got 3 guys, really and truly, they got 2 guys legit that can average 30 a night.
Yeah.
Clay can get you 20, but Clay is exhausted on most nights because he had to guard True Holiday. True Holiday ain't no easy cover. So he struggled a little bit after that 52. He only had 17 points.
What did Steve Kerr say after the game? The best player on the floor tonight, and that included Anthony Davis, was Draymond Green. Yeah. Well, we were going back and forth the other day. I said Klay Thompson, after he scored his 52. What was it, 2?
52.
He scores 52, and I said, he's the 4th best player. You said, no, he's the 3rd best. And I said, well, what about Draymond? Well, on any given night, Draymond is the 3rd best. Well, some nights he's the 2nd best.
You remember, Skip, in that Game 7, Draymond would have been the MVP had they won.
Yeah.
He had 32, 15, and 9.
Draymond got suspended, or you wouldn't have a championship.
Don't do that, Skip.
Well,
don't do that, because they had, guess what they had? They had Game 6 and 7, and they had Game 7 on their home court.
Well, they did.
And what happened? LeBron says, I'm not going away.
It was 3-1, and if
3-2,
if Draymond
3-3,
and Draymond just lost it. He called LeBron a bad name, and then he tangled up with him, and he sort of kicked him in the nether region.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
And LeBron was a bigger man.
Yeah.
LeBron said, don't worry about it. I got something for you in Game 5, 6, and 7. You're going to wish.
Some superstars would have
no.
thrown down.
No. I told Bron, I said, Bron,
yourself?
keep it cool. I said, Bron, keep it cool.
Really?
Because you're worth more on the court than off it. He said, but I got some, this the way you get them back, Skip. I mean, he could have put them CDs on him. CDs, Jenny. Yeah. He could have put them upside his head, but he said, nah, I'm going to drop 41, 27, triple dub and take this title home. And then what?
What he said was, I got Kyrie because he's my closer.
Don't do that,
and you don't have a Kyrie.
Don't do that, Skip.
Yeah, so Kyrie closed the deal.
Don't do that, Skip.
It was some comeback without Draymond.
Oh,
Game 5, it would have been over. It would have been 4-1 Golden State with Draymond.
LeBron and Kyrie said no. We ain't got 41 or 40. And see, y'all thought it was bumped that LeBron got 41. He said, let me show you that wasn't a mistake. I'm going to go get another 41. And he said, you know what? In a Game 7, I'm going to get a triple dub. I think only James Worthy got one of them. In a Game 7 finals, a triple dub.
So the best offensive team focuses solely on defense, and then we have the Lakers, LeBron's team.
Well,
they don't focus on defense.
We're not talking about the
they
Lakers.
Don't play any defense.
We're talking about Draymond and getting Defensive Player of the Year.
No, but you actually think LeBron has a chance against this team.
But here's the thing, Draymond. If they put you on first-team all-defense last year, who they taking off? You taking Anthony Davis? You taking Gobert? You taking True Holiday? You taking Covington? Who are you taking off?
Covington, maybe. Maybe.
He had an unbelievable year.
I know he did. I think he ranked #1 overall in defensive win share.
That's good to have goals. It's good to be the Warriors, right? Well, a little different vibe in Detroit. Why is Matt Patricia going after the media? It's interesting. We'll tell you next.
No mercy.
Time for our final topic of the day. The Lions are in last place right now at 3-4, but that didn't stop Matt Patricia from scolding a member of the media yesterday. Take a listen to this.
Well, do me a favor, just kind of sit up and just like have a little respect for the process. Every day you come in and ask me questions, and you just kind of like, give me this. But I mean, like, just be a little respectful. I'm asking just to be a little respectful in this whole process, okay? So ask me a question professionally, and I'll answer it for you.
Okay, Shannon, you got a problem with this.
Yeah, I got a problem. Skip, he asked him a question professionally. See, that's why I couldn't be a reporter, because I'd have sat up real nice and straight. I said, hold on, wait a minute, bro. You gonna talk about be professional, act professional? Look at you, looking like who did it, what for, like you just hiked the Appalachian Trail. You had a shave in a month or two, and you're gonna talk.
You could even hike. I don't know.
I'm like, bro, what do you think? First of all, you're not my parent, and you're not a teacher, and you're gonna talk about be professional. You didn't like that I asked you the question.
That is
How
correct.
does trading Golden Tate make this team better when he's leading the team in catches and yards?
And you're only one game out of first in your division.
And so
what are you doing?
And because you like, how dare you question me? You're not Coach Belichick, bro.
Huh. So maybe the reporter should have said, gee, why don't you trim your beard a little bit? Why don't you wear maybe a collared shirt to represent your franchise in front of the media?
And do 50 sit-ups before you come in here and do a press conference.
I don't know if he could do 5 sit-ups.
Okay, we'll do 10.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a sign of weakness.
Yes.
It's out of bounds. It shows a little paranoia on your part where they're getting to you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever seen a head coach call out a reporter for the way he slumped in his chair.
They got couches? I mean, they at the movie theater where they got reclining chairs. But you know what I would do, Skip Bayless? If I was that reporter, I'd pull him to the side. Bro, you can't talk to me like this. Now, even though the cameras are not on me, the cameras are not on you. So look how you look. Look in the mirror, partner.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.